Okay, that's enough of that. Hello, all of you who might be in the chat right now. Welcome to Left Random Talk.
Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm finally back.
Yeah.
So
it's been 3,000 years.
There's actually a meme about that. But the reason there wasn't a show last week is because I went across the mountains to Seattle to celebrate my grandmother's 95th birthday a week early.
Wow.
Yeah. We didn't have 45 people like I had feared, but we had quite a few people from all over the place. There were people from Arkansas, some from Iowa, some from California and Oregon. Some people are actually in a town right next to us. I hope I never run into them.
Wow.
But yeah. We're back.
Sugar and smoke.
We have some topics from last week that didn't happen. So here we go.
Yeah. And some might update as well. I'm just linking us around.
Yeah.
So while I hold on. I'm blanking right now. I can't type and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
All right,
Jesus
there we go.
Christ.
All right. I think we're good. So I will go over our topics like always. So today our topics are a game update, Ghost of a Tale. Now HH knows the full game and the story and holds it in high regard. Warframe versus Warframe versus Destiny. Why are so many people starting up a new fight about this again? Warframe dev stream 1.1.13 overview. Warning, hoverboards do not work over water. Metal Gear movie. It's being directed by an actual fan of the series? My God. Taking a look at Fallout 76's creatures and the myths that inspired them. I should also add a little bit of an addendum to this one. Fallout Miami also outdoing Fallout 76. Trust me, it'll get there. And finally, on the last topic of the evening, Atomic Heart. The Russian Fallout and Bioshock combined. Our thoughts. So yeah, quite a full list today.
Yeah, quite the list.
All right,
I'm still yawning. I need to stop yawning.
All right, should we just get the Warframe stuff out of the way?
Yep. I don't know if you watched it, but we literally just came out of the Warframe prime time.
Oh no, I don't watch the prime times.
Yeah, I still watched because platinum. There's a chance.
No, I like watching the dev streams more, to be quite honest, because stuff actually happens. So there's that. Anyway, I guess, well, speaking of the dev stuff, then let's just start with the dev stream.
Yeah.
So, dev stream 1.1.3. Oh boy.
It's kind of obvious that the hoverboards won't work over water.
Oh yeah, but I love the fact that we've actually, at least we tried to test them now, which is kind of hilarious, all things considered. And hello, who's this?
Peekaboo, I see you.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Liam. You're in the middle of the show. But that's all right.
Sorry.
I mean, if you want to join in, I mean, we're talking about a Warframe, so.
Yeah, might as well. I was actually about to fire up Warframe.
We lost him.
I'm still here. Can you not hear me?
your internet crapped out.
I think it's just with you because I can hear him just fine.
Was talking with a buddy of mine.
All right.
Earlier and just shooting the shit and talking about talking about like some of the shit I used to get up to in this one game we used to play. See, I don't care for, I mean, don't get me wrong, Gundams are cool, blah, blah, blah. I was more the guy who would rock up in a custom as fuck normal unit. Air quotes on normal unit.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. Fuck the Gundams, really. Come on. I mean, there are 1,000 different suits and better pilots out there. Just saying.
Let me put it this way.
man.
I was a Jim Stryker pilot.
Well, that's telling.
I'm having flashbacks to the early episodes. We messaged Liam like, "Hey, do you want to join us for the Gundam of the Month?" And he's piss ass drunk. He's like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." Oh my god!
No.
I'm so glad I said no to that.
See, I've got stories like you wouldn't believe because see the thing about the Jim Stryker is my job is to get up in the enemy's face on the ground with a big ass beam saber staff.
Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll still again to be just on this quick side note. Personally, I'd rather pilot a Galgoop, to be quite honest. Heavy arms type.
It really just depends on your personal preference. See, with most of the people I played with, they'd all be in like heavy duty like Gundams and all kinds of other mobile suits and stuff like that. And I'm just here with my staff and my extra armor. They're like, "Aren't you gonna upgrade?" It's like, "No, I got this, guys."
all right.
See,
Well, hold on. Before we get on a complete side note here, we do have to keep on track just a bit. Like we can do this another. All right. So we're just talking about the dev stream 113.
Ooh, that reminds me. What's new? Oh, they're releasing the Nidus skin.
It's already out, actually.
Yeah, it looks really cool. They had a whole party in Cetus of just that Nidus skin.
Jesus Christ, that must have been
actually.
See?
Well, here's the creepy things. One of my friends recently showed off the skin, and we made a horrifying discovery. The shoulders have eyeballs.
Whoa! You're roboting.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, hello.
Try again.
Am I good now?
We got to shoulder. What?
They have eyes in them.
Yes, and they move.
Yeah, they were talking about that in the stream.
So.
Too.
Yeah, and also if you look close enough at the arms, you can see bones.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I actually like the Nidus deluxe skin because this looks like this was like their early attempts to try and create a Prime, and it just came out horribly wrong.
Well, you also got to remember what they're making a quote-unquote Prime of.
Exactly, and honestly, I again, like I said, I love it. I even love the deluxe helm charger that comes with the Nidus. I mean, I loved it. It's amazing. But however, let us also get into the other things that were shown off. The new wildlife for Venus.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm gonna be honest. Go ahead.
I was about to say that little armadillo-looking fucker is adorable. I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna put him in a nice little cozy space so he can have a nice little life.
I'm actually gathering the images of the critters so we can put them on screen.
Where did I had a bag of Haribo Happy Cola around here somewhere. I love these games.
And he's off. So
I'm still here.
No, just off with the sodas. All right, here we go. So the first one.
Gummy bears taste like cola.
No, they're gummy cola bottles.
Oh, ew.
They're actually really good.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of cola.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So our first critter is the armadillo creature.
I am adding this to stream.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I like it. I mean, it's incredibly creative, even though it's very obviously designed to look like a pangolin.
Mm-hmm.
It looks sort of like Sandslash, a Alolan form in Pokemon.
I you know what's funny? I actually, when I was talking to a friend of mine, I showed him that and I said, "Behold, Arctic Sandslash."
Oh, it does look cute.
Yes, though I'm pretty sure I could still murder something if I really needed to. Honestly, based on the claws and how it's designed, I think anteater. Like this thing purposely eats for little parasites and things of that nature.
Yeah,
Come
very
on,
likely.
controller. Don't screw me
That's
over.
it. The other one is the next one is only called the snow critter, which honestly kind of looks like
Isn't this the
a
critter
fox.
they caught on stream?
No, this is a different one. That was a vermink. This one's a different creature altogether.
All right, it's on stream.
Yeah. I mean, I find it interesting. I wonder if this is going to be like a vermin animal, you know? Like very small, kind of gets in your food and steals it.
Martin, shrew, and anteater. So that means it's going to be about the size of an anteater. If not, it's going to be the size of a martin, which is a weasel. Those are tiny.
Okay. So expect tiny little things just kind of eating your food now. All right. And we move on to the predators of Venus.
Ooh. Oh, you know I'm gonna hunt one of those motherfuckers.
Personally, I don't like how this one looks. It's the teeth that I mostly don't like. I feel a little sorry for it.
Oh,
God. Could you send me pictures since I'm in Warframe? It shits itself if I have a stream running at the same time.
I'll send this to you, Liam. There you go.
Merci.
You know what this creature is, you know, its teeth are very obviously based off of the Babirusa.
Oh, yeah.
Same creature,
that's
same
the
kind
pig with like the really fucked up tusks, isn't it?
Yeah, the ones that can go into its own head.
You can actually see one of those teeth is already through its head. Sorry, I'm not showing it. This is a very big image. There we go.
I honestly feel a little sorry for this thing, to be completely honest.
It's like an elephant seal.
Yeah, in the bottom right, they do say it has like...
What are you doing?
A beaver-like jaw and teeth, but blubbery. So it's meant to look like kind of like a seal or sea lion.
Oh,
you know,
dear gods.
Now, hear me out for a second. Wouldn't an animal that has teeth that grow into its own body kind of like find ways to break the teeth so we would stop doing that?
For the most part, they do.
Yeah.
Chewing on... rodents get by chewing on whatever.
So you would think that these things would just kind of like start nibbling on whatever they could. Just saying.
Well, see, from the way it looks, it almost looks as if it's a type of defensive thing where it'll just stab anything that tries to bite it.
All right, maybe.
That pig that has like the tusks that grow through its snout, they deal with their teeth by fighting and like scratching their teeth against trees, you know, to mark their territory. But even then, there's a risk with that because it could lead to infections.
Yep.
And with this being a snowy environment, breaking off the teeth like that is not a good idea.
Well, actually, wouldn't infections be less prevalent because of the colder temperatures?
No. No.
It really depends on the kind of environment, though.
This thing is a predator, which means it's around corpses. It's around a lot of bacteria. Combined with the freezing cold, it's going to get infections faster.
Makes sense.
Well, also that also said, we haven't really, from what we saw of Venus, you know, the planet is very like semi-sterile. We didn't see a lot of critters out there, so there's also that to keep in mind.
Well, you got to remember, it's still in the process of being terraformed.
Exactly, that's my point. It's the area we went through was very clearly a sort of carved out little niche of Venus, and even then we didn't see much wildlife, which kind of leads to the idea that whenever the corpus starts setting up shop, wildlife and everything just kind of vanishes around them.
Yeah, it was actually said in the stream The corpus are causing these animals to go extinct because they catch them, tear them apart for research and for food.
Which makes sense. And yes, I've sent the last creature for Venus. This is a bit of an odd one.
Save images. Save. Oh, we got a red square.
Oh, do it?
And we're back to green. We're good.
OBS, why do you do this?
People keep saying I should use XSplit, but I don't think it's the program that's being the issue. There we go.
Yeah.
But let me take a look here real quick.
That creature, to be honest, looks like a very big. Again, this thing looks more like a very. I won't say it's a dominant predator, but it looks like it could be up there.
It looks like leatherback.
A little bit.
Kinda.
Hello, LT. Welcome to the stream.
Its ears kind of make it seem like it's more of a hearing-based hunter.
Yet it has.
If you look, ironically enough, if you look at those front two arms, how the claws are kind of set up, they look more kind of spade-like. It almost indicates that, well, from what I'm looking at, it almost kind of looks like it's meant to burrow a little bit.
Yeah, but also if you say that you would think it hunts by sound, but yet it has 3 eyes on either side of the head.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, I'm just going by the ears.
I can already clearly see like the influences here. It's a rabbit, or a rhino. Can't really see the teeth very well unless I click. It's got multiple eyes. It's got small ears. It's got digging claws. It is an ambush predator based off of rabbit. It doesn't use hearing. It uses sight. Hello, Old Bed. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Old Bed.
What's up?
So it's very much a predatory rabbit with thick skin.
I wonder how big this thing's going to be.
Probably the size of a badger.
No,
probably.
Please no. No badger.
Honey badger. Well,
those things are a nightmare in the Far Cry games. I don't want to deal with the Warframe honey badger.
Apparently, the golden eagles in certain Far Cry games are even worse because they just appear out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, they will just dive bomb the fuck out of you.
I've seen so many H2O Delirious videos where everything's calm and then suddenly bird.
Evil bird.
Oh, imagine if he played Warframe. The conch doors would just turn on him for no reason. They suddenly become hostile.
Business, fighting the gritty air, then suddenly Kondrak swarm.
Exactly.
But
On
the flip side,
yeah, what?
On the flip side, he'd have as many Kondrak wings as he needed.
True.
Downside, Kondraks have hooks on their wings.
Yep.
So you win some, you lose some, but mostly you lose.
Mostly you're losing bits and pieces.
Yes. But still, that said, there was something I wanted to bring up when you mentioned the dissection and food distribution of the animals. Again, that brings up a Solaris United journal I found, and apparently they also do this to certain species of kavat. If it isn't exactly linked to an Orokin or something Orokin related, they'll just cut it up and repackage it as food. Which,
well, also from what it looks like is when you capture these critters, some of them it looks like they're just trying to save the critters, if that makes any sense.
That is what you're doing out there. You're saving the critters from the main corpus.
Ah, okay.
Which I think that's rather noble, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, most of the regular corpus are dicks. I've got a special little arrow with Nefanyo's balls.
Yes, this is the thing. This is the thing. Liam and I have a special hatred towards Nefanyo that a few people in the fandom understand. Those of you who do, we're gonna go fuck up his shit. Those who don't, play Glass Gambit, you'll understand.
Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think we should just blow up the statue. Just let us do that.
I want to climb it, and I want to put my glyph where his face is supposed to be.
Actually, that should be a mission in Fortuna, but with like 2 different like options you can have: destroy the statue or deface it.
Well, see, I'm gonna shoot him in the nuts with a Daikyu. For those who don't know the Daikyu, take a look at that arrowhead and tell me what you think.
I would rather use the dread to do that.
No. See, the dread is meant for decapitation, quick and simple. Take a look at the Daikyu arrowhead.
I've seen. It's either... Well, no. The thing is, I want him to suffer. So I'd probably use the Mutilus Cernos.
Here, have space aids directly in your dick.
Especially with the shape of the arrowhead tip. That's really going to hurt.
Well, again, if we want to hurt him, he has a nephew. We just need to kill the nephew and make him watch.
I don't think he would give a flying fuck.
And there, hang on, it's like, you two want to just hurt the guy, and then there's Rev with warfare tactics.
Yeah, there's Rev with the mafia tactics.
Well, see, for the most part, it probably would work if it was someone like Glast. This is Neff motherfucking Anyo. The only thing he cares about is fucking money. Or something rare.
I find it very funny that he curses Tenno with the Void. When the Tenno were created through the Void, and they channel the Void, and they are powered by the Void, while Neff Anyo is just this guy wanting money.
He's a preacher, plain and simple.
Nah, there are some preachers who are actually decent. This guy is not decent.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just find it kind of funny.
He's a demagogue.
Again, I find it.
That's the best way.
Exactly, that's it. That's what I wanted to say.
Where he's using religion / his oration ability to basically get himself more money and get followers to follow him.
Exactly.
I think Bioshock when it comes to him. Anyway, let's just carry on with the show here.
Yeah. The next bit we have is a bit of the was DE showing off Revenant, the new Warframe.
I like his new shit.
I like the fact that they've actually started to kind of rework his abilities, because I think that they realize that Revenant's powers aren't. Hold on, excuse me. Go ahead.
I will say I will miss the mass AoE sleep because the animation for that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I think that they realized that they want to create a vampiric Warframe, but Revenant isn't the right one or isn't suited for that yet. So instead, they're just they're rebuilding him as a purely sentient Warframe, and I actually like this idea better. It fits. Now, again, before we continue with this, I do want to ask everyone, and this is like a bit of a lore-related question. How do you think Revenant came to be?
Well, if you look at how the style of combat that it uses, how it seemingly is meant to fight off hordes easily enough, combined with the fact that I just got 420 focus. Woot. But it's just the way it fights and the fact that it can mind control groups at a time, decently sized groups at a time. Part of me thinks it was designed to fight Infested. Maybe a first attempt at fighting the Infested before they came up with Saren. I mean, think about it.
Well, Saren was clearly designed to be the anti-Infested. That was very obvious.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But, I mean, like, look at its suite of abilities. It's teleporting, lifesteal, mass mind control that you can pick and choose. Instead of, like, with Nyx, where it's just straight up, okay, everyone, fight yourselves. No, this is, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. You heavy gunner in the back, come over here.
Yeah, well, this is another... well, I mean more in line of... Well, here's another... let me be more specific. I think Revenant wasn't made by the Orokin. I think he was created by the Sentients as a form of like, okay, we have these things attacking us. Why don't we attempt to create a warframe of our own and see how it goes. But it never took hold. Exactly. I think that they couldn't understand the concept of the transference.
Well,
and they just
I was about to say, because isn't the void like completely inimical to their health? Like it's
exactly
them.
Exactly, and it's very clear that they couldn't replicate that. So maybe they abandoned the Revenant frames everywhere and just said, "Fuck it, we'll just keep fighting as we usually do." And now, go ahead.
And I was about to say, and then the Orokin got a hold of blueprints or ideas or schematics for it, and it's like, okay, we're using this now.
And another possibility is that maybe this post-Orokin era warframe, like something we've actually created out of the remains of a sentient.
I could see that, and given that the name for now is Revenant, but you got to remember though, with Revenants is they are those who have been wronged, given a second chance to right they're basically vengeful spirits.
I was actually about to say, like, you're going off about this stuff. I was gonna say, like, maybe it's more has to do with their name. It's like, I'm gonna be a bit of a nerd here. In D&D, if you have a Revenant after you, you're fucked.
Yeah, because you literally cannot stop them.
They are a spirit of vengeance and fire.
Oh, so they're Ghost Rider.
No, like
no. I love that hero.
Well,
but no.
If you happen to piss off a Phoenix Soul sorcerer or a Pyromancer sorcerer, they're most definitely Ghost Rider.
But no.
But the thing with Revenants from D&D is what makes them so terrifying is I'm looking at this from a DM perspective, like the Revenant character, the Revenant character race is you literally cannot put a Revenant down.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you might think that you kill it, but it immediately comes back. Like, granted, it takes some. I was about to say it takes some time, but they more or less immediately come back, and you can't pretend to die. Like, there is a spell to pretend to die, so people using their own magic to detect if you're dead or not will be fooled. A Revenant will always know that their target is alive or dead, and they won't stop until there is no soul left in that body.
Yep, and what also makes them so scary is just like HH said, they don't stop. But it's not just that. No matter how you kill them, you can nail a fucker with disintegrate of all things, which just straight up turns him into a pile of dust. He'll still come back.
You could pour holy water on them. You can put them in a coffin, like put their ashes in a coffin in a temple, and it won't work. They will come back over and over and over again until you have a goddess or a deity's intervention to calm the spirit down,
not even that.
Until they get their target.
Well, not get their target. Well, let me finish. Or not let me finish. Let me rephrase it. Either if they're going after a person, they get their target, or if they achieve their goal, because it's essentially they have unfinished business and want to get this done.
Exactly, it's a soul that has something it needs to do.
Yes, and they will do it no matter what. Which at the same time, if this is the case with this Warframe, what the hell was she supposed to do?
That's what I was going to bring up. The other possibility of what Revenant could be is, as crazy as this is going to sound, maybe it is the brain of the original creature. Maybe it's managed to scrounge up enough pieces to put its mind into something new, and now wants to, maybe get to the Una, maybe drink the Kuva, something of that nature. That's the only other explanation I could say for what Revenant could be, if we're going by the literal name sense, I mean.
Yeah. Because just... And as a Revenant, its current abilities kind of make sense, because they're more... Revenants as a whole, in both regular mythology and D&D, are more geared towards the darker powers, what they're more capable of. In some cases, mind control. In some cases, afflicting enemies with a disease. Outright raw firepower. Again, depending Revenant to Revenant. If you, for example, had a soul of, say, a champion of the people, like of a fighter, come back from the dead, it'd still be a Revenant, but he'd be more geared towards doing what Revenants do best, which is surviving, fighting, coming back. Whereas if a sorcerer or sorceress or a wizard or something like that became a Revenant, they'd be more inclined towards the darker types of magic.
Another thing I want to bring up, though, on Revenant, or this version, I should say, is, do you guys think he will have any other sentient abilities, like, adapting to damage over time? Like as a passive?
As a passive, I don't know, because that would be broken as shit.
Well, maybe it would have to be limited to the type of, maybe what an enemy does to you. Like if an enemy can do a lot of, I don't know, explosive damage, for example, you'll be immune to the explosive damage, but you'll still take damage from anything else,
Well, a way I could think that they do it, instead of it being like immunity or something like that, it'd be kind of, I wouldn't say kind of like the bear totem from D&D, where they're like straight up resistant to everything except psychic damage. Get out of my head, Charles! Sorry, I had to do it. H gets the joke.
I hate those movies.
Well, no, it was more of a reference to Charles Xavier, him being the most powerful psychic in
I know. I hate those movies.
Okay then. I didn't quite catch the comment exactly. But
carry on.
It'd be more like an example of how it'd be more of an example of like how they're resistant to how they're like highly resistant to damage instead of like being outright immune.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Like you grow resistance over time. That would be better.
Yeah. Well, in the case of like the bear totem, they're straight up resistant, meaning they take half damage from everything that isn't psychic damage.
Exactly. All right.
In this case, you would be resistant to most damage types, but certain ones would just outright annihilate you. Like probably radiation.
I want to think that it's similar to Chroma's Vex armor.
Yeah, that could also work
take
too.
that and combine it with like a normal sentient. Over time, the sentient develops resistance to your attack. What if like what are the abilities of the Revenant exactly? We have like the mind control. We have teleport.
It's not a teleport, it's more of a mist walk kind of deal, where they basically become mist and just move around.
So kind of like a astral
sort
walking,
of like Wukong.
Exactly. I would say kind of like Wukong, but more along the lines of HH. You know the spell Misty Step, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is D&D all up in the shit.
Yeah, and the last...
It works for parallels.
It makes it easier to explain.
Yeah.
Yes. And the last ability is a copy of the sentient beam from the Eidolons.
You spin me right round.
Pretty much.
Hey, you like a laser show? Heck yeah.
Omni voice, please.
This is what you need to do. If he keeps that as his form, get him Mirage, an Octavia.
Oh God.
And I can't think of a fourth one right off the top of my head.
Oh man.
And just have the disco rave party.
Banshee.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Again, like I was gonna say, it's just Omnivoice, if you're listening, do that. Make that a joke, please.
Yeah, have a dance party with one of the Eidolons. No, like so that's 3 of his abilities: Misty Step, Laser, Mind Control. What was the 4th?
What was the 4th?
Well,
Like, I know where Mystic was.
It's likely that depending on what he goes with for whatever the other ability is, if we don't know it, they could give Revenant the ability to do something similar to the Vex armor, where you cast it, and over time, whatever you're being hit with, you'll suddenly be resistant to it. You'll take much less damage from it. Similar to what a sentient does.
Exactly.
Well, it's got that armor that it gets.
Yeah, which is a mimic of the sentient. So it could be. All right, I think we've gushed over Revenant long enough. Let's keep going. The next piece of the dev stream was, of course, showing off Volbin Prime.
Oh.
Sorry, Volbin Deluxe.
We call it Steampunk Prime.
Or Full Metal Volbin.
I'm excited.
Balls. He's got lots of balls.
I actually, when I saw them show off the deluxe skins animations, I was quite surprised they actually went through the trouble of animating steam coming off of him. Not just the pistons, but steam coming off of him as well, which I was kind of like, oh, this is a nice attention to detail. It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Though I'm going to be honest, though, the helmet could be better. It does look a bit smushed. Like, I know it's a minor nitpick considering like half the Warframe heads we have, but it does kind of seem like something was lost in translation when it came to the head.
Do you have pictures of it?
Let me see. I'll look it up real quick.
Honestly, one of the deluxe skins I'm looking forward to was the Nasia deluxe skin.
Yes, made by the same guy that does porn.
Hey.
You gotta start somewhere.
It's true. It's true.
If you got it, flaunt it.
Well, is it again? If you pay attention to the Nasia deluxe skin, specifically the ass, it is incredibly detailed.
Like I said, if you got it, flaunt it.
It's like Resident Evil. Everybody has a fantastic ass, but they're all Ken doll. The giant flaming ass. Oh, that was my favorite Kraken video.
I have glutes of fire.
Like Kraken was down by a flaming tyrant, but he was stuck. Like the camera was stuck, so he was staring at its ass for like a full minute, and it's on fire. It's on fire.
All right, all right, I got it. I got the. I guess the concept art for the Volbin Deluxe. I'm still looking for like a good captured image of the final the quote unquote final product.
Oh, I think we've already shown this on stream.
I'm pretty sure we have, but this is like more for comparison's sake, really. Again, with the whole head helmet issue. Mm-hmm. If I can find the version. No, it looks like okay. Here we go. I found it. Oh god, there's a very small image. Fuck. Oh. We're gonna have to make do. Oh, hold on a sec. I'll be right back. I need you.
Oh my god.
I look fabulous.
Have you seen my Nidus? He's fabulous.
Yes. Your Nidus is like brilliantly pink.
That's really weird though. Like I hate the color pink, and yet a good number of my Warframes are starting to turn pink. Sorry, the image is a little blurry, folks. This is the best I can do.
Yeah. But like I said, like
I don't mind. It kind of fits the general look.
Yeah, but it's clear that the helmet in the concept art is more detailed than the final product, which just kind of has a flat. Oh my god, what's it called? A flat sort of texture, where like the detail should be. It's like
you mean like the textures haven't fully loaded in, basically.
Exactly. Like if you pay close attention to like the cut in the visor, the head inside it does not look right. It's as if they how do I put it? It's like a second helmet is inside the helmet, but it wasn't.
Yo, dog,
done.
I heard you like helmet, so we put a helmet in your helmet.
Exactly, but it doesn't look correct.
Sorry, I couldn't resist doing the meme.
I got it. It's helmetception.
Okay.
Yeah, like, we get what you mean. We get what you mean.
What else was I going to? Oh, right. The next bit as well is they showed off the hoverboards.
Oh yeah, the K drives.
Yeah, which I actually like, but
I actually look forward to the K drive simply because it means that they're going to eventually make it so that the arc wings are not charge based.
Oh no, they mentioned they mentioned these things are going to be charge based too.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so that's going to be great. I mean, the only thing it has over an arc wing is that you can park it somewhere and then come back to it and get it again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, from what they're saying is like that was one of their big criticisms about the Plains of Eidolon was that, you know, arc wings, while they're great and everything, they're charge based, so it causes problems. From what I've been hearing, that they're gonna make it no longer charge. You better not fucking summon a maniac, you asshole. But they're gonna make it so that they're no longer charge based to kind of make things a little easier, so you don't have to do as much grinding for resources, so on and so forth. Because that's another thing that a lot of I am not getting bitch slapped by a shield. That is something that a lot of people have complained about, was how grind intensive the stuff from the Plains of Eidolon are.
True,
and but something else that they're talking about is making the grind a little easier for people to deal with.
Yes. Well, not only that, but they also, what I noticed in the dev stream is that the what's it called? The
It's a Nox. I hear a Nox.
They mentioned that the K drives in Warframe are either going to be stronger or weaker based on the model, which again kind of makes me a little worried moving forward.
Well, it makes sense. Like certain materials used in certain things make it stronger or better, or so on and so forth, better or inferior. And at the same time, it'd probably be like the starting bitch board is going to be, you know, just that freaking flat piece of tech. But at the same time, it's decent, and there are going to be areas where you sure as shit don't want to bring an Arcwing because the winds will bitch slap you back down to Earth, for lack of a better term.
Back down to Venus. But yes, I get what you mean with that. But at the same time, this could also lead to another issue of, yes, we've replaced the problem of the grindy Arcwing, but it could be replaced with a very grindy system of, well, now you need this specific Arcwing to get to these specific regions.
No, not so much. I mean, the Arcwings all have the same traversal techniques, so on and so forth. It's just certain Arcwings are better at certain things. Like the Itzel it's your stealth Arcwing.
Oh no. I mean, what I meant to say is that dependent on the K drive specifically.
Oh, like you need a certain K drive to get into a certain area type deal.
Yes, that's what I meant. Or a certain kind of kick.
Well, I mean, that's just probably easy to do because they said like you can do tricks and do grinds and stuff to earn affinity. So that could probably be an easy way to earn affinity. Dog, I swear to God, do not bop my controller. Yes, I know you're a lovable, adorable little butt.
And she's destroying his computer. Well, we've lost him.
No, I'm still here. I'm actually going to send HH a picture of Doggo.
No, I'm joking.
So she can post it in the Twitch so everyone can see the lovable little mutt.
Yeah,
she is
a thousands of views.
Right. She is a husky American Bulldog mix.
Ooh.
And she is a lovable little pupper.
DE starts adding this type of mix to the game.
Oh my God! If I could somehow get a wait.
Okay, he's blanked out. He's blanking out now.
No, I'm trying to find the picture. If I could somehow get that as a Kubro mix, I would just love DE for life.
All right. Well, actually, that's
there. You go, HH. Go ahead and post that.
Okay.
The other thing I want to congratulate DE on is the diversity of wildlife on so many worlds.
Like there is a big difference between stuff on the plains and stuff on Venus. And actually, that reminds me, what's the next environment going to be, you think?
Well, people have been kind of joking when it came to some of them. One of them brings up, an open world infested planet, which, I mean, that would be
Actually,
interesting.
you could do that with the Myconians. Think about it.
Yeah, you could have the Myconian colony open. That's one. But the one I really want to see is a Grenier colony. I want to see what the Grenier colonies are like, and actually, like, kind of, go to a planet, somehow be able to like hide among the populace, so the Grenier don't know.
Well, it could be like those one Grenier who rebel against what's his name?
Steel Meridian.
No, not Steel Meridian.
No. The ones that you do with like the defection missions. Madokin.
Cavors.
Cavors.
The Cavor, yeah.
Yeah, that's another one that could work actually.
Because either one. It's like because they don't like to fight. That's like their whole thing is they don't fight. They try to make a living out doing other things. So it's like if you go to a colony of these people, your job is probably going to be to protect them. It's probably going to be a hell of a war zone trying to keep these people safe if you think about it.
Yeah, well, this is what I would imagine. Like, this is something to bring up about each open world colony we've gone to. Plains of Eidolon, it's protected by a very large barrier, so hence why enemies don't appear in it. Fortuna, it's underground, so that way the cold doesn't destroy the colony. I would imagine a Grenier colony controlled by these pacifist Grenier would be, they probably have giant, kind of like Jack 3 and Spargus. It just has giant walls and defense cannons keeping the Grenier at bay.
Oh yeah. Well, I almost walked right into that sensor.
Yeah, I see the image. It's very cute.
She is a lovable little mutt. She also chewed out the crotch on a pair of my underwear for some reason. No, like seriously. I get home from work, start looking around after I showered to get, changed into some decent clothes and stuff so I don't smell like sadness, french fries, and shake mix.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Oh.
And I grab a pair of my boxers. I'm like, wait a minute. I hold them up. It's like the entire crotch and part of the left pant leg has been chewed out.
Oh, I don't want to make a comment. Don't make a comment. No.
Look, hold on. We are really getting off topic.
Yeah, we need to focus on the show here.
All right.
As adorable as the dog is, and even though I can hear it, it's not a problem. Like, I can hear the dog whimpering in the background. We need to focus.
Well, that's because she has really severe anxiety, or not anxiety issues, separation issues.
Oh yeah, my dog is the same thing. But anyway.
Focus.
I'll explain it on a later date.
Yeah. So on the last bit for, I guess, the dev stream, we did see how the hoverboards kind of act in different environments. We did see how they are very good in certain terrain, but unfortunately, they can't hover over water.
Oh, that's temporary. That's a temporary thing where she wanted to keep going over water. It's like, and bop, blow.
I think that might be an unintentional reference to Back to the Future as well.
Yeah, the hoverboards, like anything that has a hoverboard in it, except for maybe like Jak and Daxter, is a reference to Back to the Future. Because in Jak and Daxter,
even then,
it's
if you
disc,
go to...
it's not a board.
Well, no, it's more of a disc. It's more of a board. It's a board / disc. But the thing is, if you go too far over the water, something will grab you. Like this big giant tentacle will reach up, grab you, and yank you under.
I have a story for that one, but let's not get into it.
Well, I want to bring up. You bring up the hover disk for a second, and I do want to bring up something else as well in relation to the K drive. That disk is actually based off of more repulsor tech. So basically, it's pushing off the ground. It's not really hovering.
Yeah.
My question is, would K drives benefit from that kind of repulsor tech instead? Like maybe some could be used that way to like traverse bigger obstacles like mountains or actually go over water.
It would really depend on the tech and what it's being used for, because certain things would have more problems than others. If you see what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I get it.
Because certain environments are, to use an example from like Star Wars, you don't take that kind of tech on a world with really fucked up gravitational forces or high magnetic concentrations, that kind of thing.
True. It's actually speaking
because it just messes with whatever's like you doing the repulsion and stuff like that. Yeah. It'll either send you into orbit or yank you into the planet.
Yeah, exactly. And when you bring that up, it kind of does bring up a point from Star Wars I do want to bring up. They do mention in the 5th movie that what's it called? The snow speeders are having trouble being adapted to the cold environment. So maybe that would be one way for us to kind of like get used to what's it called? Maybe that could be
environmental acclimatization
for our Arkwings.
Yeah, that would totally make sense actually.
I would like it. All right, I think that covers everything from the dev stream, unless someone wants to bring up something else.
Oh, really? I still have that story I need to tell you, by the way, Rev.
Later.
All right.
Just write it down somewhere so you don't forget.
No, I have that one memorized because holy fuck, it was one of those moments.
All right. So next, whilst on the Warframe topic, we'll go up to the second one. Warframe versus Destiny. Why are so many people starting up a new fight over this again?
Because people are fanboyish assholes.
I think it's because of Fortuna.
All right.
Well, see, I played Destiny 1 and I played Destiny 2. I like those games. I also like Warframe. I like them for different things. Because there's some I've had moments with Destiny. And I've had moments with Warframe. I like them both for what they offer. Mm-hmm. And before anyone bitches about, oh, blah, 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 Bungie does a horrible job. No. See, here's the thing people don't realize with game developers, and then there's the publisher.
Oh, no. Don't get on that. Have insiders.
No.
Try that again, Rev. You cut out.
I said, no. Don't bring that up because I have inside sources that tell me otherwise. I know what happened behind the scenes.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's like a lot of problems happen with the devs causing problems. Or not the devs, the publishers are the ones that cause problems. I've seen it happen 1.5 million times. I'll see it happen 1 million and up more times.
I understand what's going on now. I definitely understand what's going on.
What?
So in a lot, I'm looking through like Destiny 1 images and all that jazz. There are a lot of maps that are like desolate snow maps. They're bringing back the fight because of Fortuna, as I had said. Like,
that's a really shitty reason why people are saying that.
I know, but I'm looking at it. There's actually an image from, like, unfortunately it has a giant red arrow, so I can't show it. But I'm looking at it. It's a hillside. It's in Destiny. It looks exactly like Fortuna, like exactly like Venus.
Oh wait, are we talking Destiny 1 or Destiny 2?
I have to look at Destiny 1.
So it's 1. So it's probably the Cosmodrome she's speaking about.
The Cosmodrome, yeah.
Well, the other thing I have to bring up as well is that if I'm not here to start up the whole, well, Bungie is to blame because this, and this. I'm not going to bring that up. Actually, I might save it for another stream. But the thing as well to look at is what both games offer to the table, and to look at it through not just the developers, but what the game has to offer. Let's take both games, both Warframe and Destiny for a second. Destiny. It ships with a story that was completely gutted due to internal issues. Well, basically massive ego trips between the writer and the game designer. Let's get that out of the way.
That was the publisher. No, don't let me finish this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Activision as a whole, they're not nearly as bad as the EA or Ubisoft. I'm looking at you in particular.
Oh God.
But Activision as a whole has been known to completely gut a story and force their people to rewrite it. That's what happened with Destiny 1. And that's why Activision is kind of on my shit list among other things. But at the same time, you know.
Well, I'll keep going here for a second.
But that's just, I don't like Activision. I don't trust Activision, not nearly as bad as, say, EA or Ubisoft because of some of the shit that happens.
We get it, Liam. Hold on.
But they just fucked shit up. That's why... sorry.
The other thing to also keep in mind, the game ships with a broken story. We all accept that, and we all know it can be fixed in post.
And it did get fixed in post. But
there's also other issues to assess as well. I know for a fact that much of the story, specifically, and this is going specifically to the second game as well, Curse of Osiris, for example, and the Curse of Osiris was supposed to be part of Destiny 1, and there was even maps and information of it being that it was being worked on. Now, I want to stress this as well. This was post the rewrites and post launch. Osiris was meant to be in Destiny 1. However, it was removed and cut. That's one thing I need to stress here. They then proceeded to fill the issues, with the Crota and the Taken King, which again I need to stress this.
Crota, House of Wolves, then Taken King. Crota, Taken King. No, Crota, House of Wolves, Taken King, and Lords of Iron.
Yeah, well, that's why I was going. I specifically chose these two for a reason. Crota, the Crota mission and the Taken King were actually part of the same story as well, but they were cut off into two separate chunks to be cut and sold back to the people. Hence why one is more disappointing than the other. Then you also have
Crota.
Exactly, and then that's why you have all these issues. Now, this all basically wraps up Destiny 1's big problem. It chips with less content to be offered and a less interesting, you know what I mean, a less interesting story for everyone to enjoy, more or less. Whereas Warframe, which is a much smaller group, and admittedly, yes, in the beginning it didn't have much of a story, it progressively got better and better and better over time.
Mm-hmm.
And DE, while, they do things on occasion when it comes to, items you want to buy for plat, they don't exactly nickel and dime everyone. Again, it could have been very easy to lock off Plains of Eidolon behind a paywall. Instead, they let it free for everyone.
They know that they can't exactly do that because it'll just gut their entire company as a whole, and then people would riot, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It could have been very easy for them to do it. It was the age-old concept of, can we do this versus should we do it? And they decided, we can do it, but we shouldn't do it.
It's less, can we do this or should we do this? It's more, can we do this and not get utterly gutted by our community? We saw what happened with Damage 2.0. Dog, why are you biting your butt?
Yeah, exactly my point. That's what I'm getting at. Now, so basically, I listed
and
that
also, one other thing I would like to say is that the guys behind Digital Extremes, I think it's a Chinese company. Oh,
Tencent.
They're fairly, I wouldn't say lenient with them, but they're less likely. They don't interfere nearly as much. They actually haven't read any interference from Tencent.
Well, Tencent usually is it's basic Chinese EA on occasion. Again, I could go into the the minutia and the humongous amount of information behind Tencent and its getting of companies, but I'd rather not. Again, trying to keep this focused. And again, I'm deliberately not going into extreme detail for the whole Destiny behind the scene things because I don't want to enter a giant debate with you at this time. Maybe next episode we can do that. No. This isn't me bowing out either. It's just.
Oh, I know. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like, as far as things I've seen, yeah, they might have done shit similar to what EA has done, but at the same time, they've left DE alone for how long now?
Yeah. But
they recognize a good thing when they see it, and they know how to emphasize on that. Whereas, for example, asshole who would not be explained, but also is responsible for a shitload of zombie modes. They've been known to, in the case of Destiny, the reason why it got cut up so much is because assholes want profit.
Yes, well, again, there's more to the story, but like I said, won't go into that. Now, we come into the next bit I was trying to get at for a bit now.
Sorry.
Destiny 2 versus what we have now is War. I know it's a meme, but basically Warframe 2, And that is specifically Destiny 2, after the backlash of Destiny 1, was given more freedom by Activision. This is a known fact. The contracts were renegotiated, and it is stated in the contracts that Activision would give a massive creative and distributional control.
Oh, we just had a ping.
Shoot. Are you guys streaming?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
If we're in the call, it says left for random talk, then we're doing a podcast. If we're in the call, it says Warframe streams, we're doing Warframe stream.
I forgot something. Sorry.
I label everything on the Discord. Why the fuck
I just
are
got
people
back
not
from
looking
eating.
at?
I'm sorry.
Why are people?
Okay, I'll leave you guys to it.
I put labels on everything. I even put labels on my clothes, and people still don't notice. Whoa!
I'm kind of picturing
I noticed. I decided to jump in the stream.
You just decide to not care.
Yeah. No, I do care. I do pay attention. If someone doesn't want anything like that, if it's one of those kind of things, I was like, okay, I'll leave you be. But if it's something like this, I'm like,
I have to.
Yeah, it's the compulsion, basically.
Yeah, like I was saying, Activision renegotiates the contract with Bungie. Bungie is given more creative freedom and distributional freedom. That's a big one. So they basically were given more time to work on Destiny 2 to avoid the failures of Destiny 1. Again, as much as an idiot Activision can be, they do know that sometimes they have to back off if a product's in danger.
Thank the fucking God.
However, Destiny 2 ships with the following issues. Yes, it comes with a very interesting story, but again, the information behind it is incredibly lacking. Yes.
Oh, you mean the background story stuff? Yeah. I will say, the whole what they did with the background story, how they put it in the Grimoire cards and other stuff. On one hand, I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was something interesting, but on the other hand, I kind of like having my story in
the game. Exactly, but this is another thing I need to bring up. Destiny 2 story comes out, and it's fine. It's not the greatest thing in the universe, but it's fine for what it is. But this is where the problem starts coming with the DLC, and this is where the big contention comes from. I have on good authority that the writing team for Destiny 2 does not care for Destiny 2. They have gone out of their way to write established canon to tell new stories that do not make sense. Case in point, the whole folklore lore thing, and Brea being brought back from the dead after she was confirmed killed in the first game.
No, she was confirmed missing.
No, she was she was dead. Flat out. No, there's a weapon that says she died.
No, she is confirmed.
I'm going to get it.
Trust me, I forum hop a lot on that one. Why am I getting ping pong? Oh, it's the misses. 1 second here. won't it let me do my fucking Warframe chat with a controller? Fuck. That is one thing I will tag DE on, is fix y'all's controller interface. I mean, it works. It's much better than it used to be, but fix your shit.
Mm-hmm. But like I was saying, they have a bad habit establish lore for the sake of retelling a story.
LT, not all forums are true.
That is also true.
Thank you.
Carry on.
But I also like to. That's why I troll, not troll.
You do. I knew it.
I know I do troll some people on occasion, but I mean TRAWL. I go through more than a few different ones. There's certain ones I avoid for obvious reasons, but you know what I mean. I try to get as much of a wider view on the things as I can, which is why certain things like this is actually goes
LT
back to
again.
the Activision thing.
LT again, unless it's from the games themselves or the devs, then don't believe the others. Yep.
I have the information right here, and I quote, like Anna Bray, a guardian fallen to second death, lost to us.
Whatever.
She was dead, flat out, and they brought her back.
Well, no, lost to us can mean a lot of different things. Shit. Nope, go away. And also, if you remember, this is more within the current story. They for what she did, they also, for lack of a better term, ostracized her. It could mean the second death could mean like she was exiled or something like that.
No, second death usually means if ghost is destroyed, you're dead.
Yeah,
that's always what it's been.
But at the
again,
same time,
Kate isn't coming back from that. We all know it.
That's because the motherfucker shot his ghost with the ace of motherfucking spades. I'm just gonna say this all straight out. Aldrin knows his shit.
Yeah, but my point still stands here. But anyway, like I was saying, the point I was getting at is that they were rewriting stories, redoing everything, and basically turning Destiny 2's established stories into something they were never meant to be. And basically in the bold face of everyone who invested in the stories, you know, the fans in general, they don't honor or treat the fans with respect. Now we come into this. Go ahead.
There's actually some of this shit also happened in Destiny 1. But it was the original team did something. When they did their shit, they fucked up, so on and so forth. There's usually, like you said, in post, there's always been someone to fix the shit, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Destiny 2 is still relatively new. And no, it's third DLC. That sounds about right. Yeah, it's just that it's the, like I said, third DLC. It's just that it's gotten to the point where it's the writing team, as you said, doesn't give a flying fuck. It's the guys who in post though who try to salvage shit. And that's kind of what we're seeing with the Forsaken.
But that's what I was getting at as well. Here's the other. Now we move away from the problem story, obviously, where Destiny 2 basically says, you know what, fuck you, lorists who spend hours trying to analyze the cryptic shit we leave behind. DE usually rewards the curious by confirming or denying some theories and showing their lore. Again, Dr. Tengus, for example. Nobody knew where he was or anything, and then boom, there he is. And he confirms or denies some of the things fans had. That's respectful. That's good. Now we come to the second issue that Destiny had, and that was nickeling and diming people in the background or behind the scenes. The perfect example of this was the whole XP debacle.
Oh, and you mean? Well, I know what they did with that one.
Yes,
and they lowered the background XP gain rates for, instead of bit being like where you straight out grind stuff, it's more, you'll get more if you do it in short bursts.
Exactly, which punished people who didn't want to spend money on the Eververse. Then when it was caught, they stopped doing the whole what's it called? Throttling. That's it. They stopped the whole throttling.
1 second here.
She's eating his underwear again. I'm willing to. She's.
He forgot to mute himself.
God
damn it.
Oh dear.
If I could be honest, I'm
Liam.
actually starting to fall asleep.
Come here, God damn it. Come on.
LT again. I already heard some of this before, but most of it is new to me.
Yeah, I've spoken with him frequently in the background about this kind of thing, my own experiences with insider sources and so on and so forth. But again, I'm not trying to start a fight with Liam because frankly, this isn't the place or the time to do it. Like we can have a debate about this on maybe the next show. That's all I'm saying. But I am bringing.
I still encourage you guys to be careful when you're doing like angry shoutouts. Don't fucking do that, because you're going to get the channel and the show into a lot of trouble. A company is not going to hesitate to snipe anybody down who thinks badly of them.
Yeah. That is something that...
I am going back to muted so you guys can carry on talking.
All right.
It's okay.
But go ahead. Oh, right. What I was saying was the XP
was the throttling thing, yeah.
Yeah. But then what they wound up doing when they got caught, rather than basically stopping the throttling and leaving people alone, they stopped it, but then they increased the level cap for a lot of important gears and things, again, behind the scenes.
Well, the level cap increase was probably due to them coming out with the new DLC, because that happens a lot with various games.
Oh no, this was way before the DLC.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's like that's something a lot of MMO-based games with the multiple levels and so on and so forth do is they'll increase the level cap before a big DLC or a big expansion gets released. Dog, why are you invisible?
Yeah.
But they'll do that beforehand. That way, that players have more content to go. Since they're getting more content to go through, they can get leveled up more or quicker, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, but
that's something they can do.
This is the other issue. But this is the other issue as well. That is not the right way to go about it. You're basically telling people that you won't get this thing you're wasting your time on unless you either spend the light at the Eververse to mitigate this issue, or B, you're just gonna have to take those fucking breaks and you're gonna have to like them.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
It's not just Destiny that's ever done that.
Oh no, we're saying Destiny specifically.
Well, I know you're talking about Destiny specifically, compared to Warframe, which has the long grinds and so on, and so where you can just grind and get whatever you want. But there are a lot of MMOs that do the level cap increase, then DLC, or then launch new things, and then there are others that just do what Warframe does, which is there is no level cap where you just go, and they both have their own problems. In Warframe's case, while the grind has been mitigated with new stuff you can use this stuff on, so on and so forth, the grind is still there. Whereas in Destiny's case, since if you go by bursts, it's not so taxing on the person. It's like it gives them this short little snippet of time where they do whatever they do their thing, get what they need, and then they can go do whatever else they want to do. Like that's how I always did my things.
But there's also more to this than just that. There's also evidence out there.
1 second. What do you want?
There's LT does bring.
Fucking told you.
Calm down. Again, and like I said, there are other issues to factor in. I don't doubt it. But at the same time, if we're just specifically looking at Warframe and Destiny, one has done things objectively. Oh, Jesus. One has done things objectively better than the other. Okay, and I think we lost him. Yeah, HH, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. He'll be back.
Apparently, all right. Well, I don't want to just keep going because that would be rude. That'd be like me saying, "Oh, he's not here to defend his points."
Life
I
issue.
win.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I guess we'll table this for now.
Grind LT. From what I saw in Destiny, it was kind of short on the grind.
Roughly,
That's
depending
just their
on
perception, though, right?
Yeah. Fair enough, LT. Fair enough. Still, I know I have my own personal as well as Warframe, and I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to stick by this point. When it comes to making an interesting world game and just a game in general, Warframe has objectively done it better. I'm sorry, I'm sticking by that point. Because let's be honest, DE, yeah, they need to make money, but they've given us the option to always get things on our own. And as far as I'm aware, they've never done anything to us to make us, to bolt on fake caps or anything like that. They've let us evolve and grow. And to that, I have to respect. I can't say the same about Destiny. I really can't. It is a money grinder, and I have no hope in Forsaken. From the information I've been given and from what I've seen, it is shock value, plain and simple. And I really wish it wasn't. So I suppose we'll just table this for now, and if he comes back, we might bring it up. Maybe next time we'll.
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe we'll save this for next week. Though
Mhm.
I will say this: the other reason why the Destiny fan base are angry, as well, is because a lot of YouTubers that specialize in Destiny content are jumping ship to Warframe. And so it's kind of triggered this whole tribalistic mentality in the Warframe community. Which I understand their outrage, but at the same time, it's like, guys, they have the freedom to choose. Just say. All right, so I suppose we'll move on to our next topic. I suppose pick a
You completely dropped.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said
Yeah,
I
you're glitching out a
suppose
bit.
we'll move on to our next topic.
Well,
How
I
about now?
understand you now. Keep talking.
All right, so I guess we'll move on to our next topic, a short one.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to? All right. The Metal Gear movie.
Oh boy.
This is a big one. So, honest,
Stop.
I'm surprised.
You're cutting
How
out.
about now? How about now?
You're all right.
All right. What I was saying is that actually, I'm not sure if I'm still good or not. Hold on. How's that?
I'm actually checking server settings here.
Hmm. I really hope it's not.
I don't know. Keep trying to talk.
All right. Well, I'll just keep talking here, and hopefully something
You sound fine.
still okay. What I was saying is that this is a big one. Now, information about this Metal Gear movie is coming up slowly so far, but this is what I know. The movie is being directed by a very close friend of Hideo Kojima, which is a good thing, and someone who apparently really loves the series.
So they
which is
share the
also
same
good.
swimming pool.
Yes, they share the same cocaine swimming pool. And completely. But so far is that the Metal Gear movie is going to be an adaptation of the first Metal Gear game, so Solid 1. Which, hey, that's a good thing. I actually enjoyed that one. And from what I've been, in terms of information, some voice actors will be actually reprising their roles in live action, which is shocking. I mean, hey, I'm up for it. I mean, the ones I think were confirmed was the voice actor for Colonel Campbell coming back to do his role, and I believe David Hayter might be Snake. I think. I'm not sure. I mean, I've never seen the guy's acting chops. I've heard his voice acting talent, and it's really good. If he can bring his A game into acting, hell, I'll watch it. And that's my vote.
You're gonna be the only one there between us here.
It's just sitting there, like, oh. But no, like I said, it.
No. Oh, he said no.
He said no. But that said, though, a lot of other things that I'm finding interesting is that so far, apparently, there's been some leaked or some like
copyright.
It's just like, yeah, unfortunately. But luckily, it is being like, I think it's under an NDA for the moment, but maybe for like another week or so. I'm not sure. So, unlike that asshole who leaked the audio for a game he wasn't supposed to leak, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, we've already ripped on that guy quite a bit.
Yeah, but he's now become our meme. He will remain our meme.
Just like swimming pools.
Yes.
Swimming pools are now a meme. Why? You'll never know.
but anyway. So far it's all coming along very interestingly. Mentioned to another Metal Gear movie that was being made a little while ago. It was called Metal Gear Philanthropy. It was a completely live-action, fan-created movie, which, I mean, it was like on cinema quality amazingness. No joke. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. It's the same? Oh, no. I don't think it's the same person. I just realized that I might have made a mistake. And I think the guy who did the Metal Gear Philanthropy fan movie might be the same guy who's doing the official movie.
Ooh.
Again, I need to do more research into this, but actually, what? No, I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I want to vet my sources here and be sure. Okay, here we go. Giacomo Talamini? Is that it? It's a very odd name. I'm sorry. Let's see here.
But hey, at least you tried.
Well, his name is. I'm not trying to mock the guy, but his name is a bit off. I think it is kind of.
I don't understand like languages either, but like apparently attempting to say the name is a lot nicer than just saying I'm not going to pronounce it. So
yeah, I always try to make a point of saying the person's name, even if I'm gonna butcher it horribly, and I'm sorry for that, man. I really am. I don't like doing that. It's again, like I said, I try to be as professional as humanly possible, and it winds up biting me in the ass. Okay, here we go. Metal Gear movie director. Where is he? Come on. All right, here we go. No, it's not the same guy. This one is the guy doing the movie is Jordan Vogt Roberts. It's not the same person, which is a shame. I mean, I'm not attacking Mr. Roberts here. I'm just saying it's kind of sad that the guy who made a very good fan movie isn't given the opportunity to work on an actual movie, which I feel sorry for the guy. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. But I will bring a spotlight to his movie, Philanthropy. It was made in 2009. It was very well done. Featured, hell, they even went through the trouble of recreating costumes. Tried to get actors that looked like Metal Gear characters and actually spent time, money, and effort on their movie. And god damn it, is it not amazing? Hell, I even believe that Kojima really liked the movie. But take a wild guess as to why the movie never continued.
Copyright.
Konami said, "Fuck you, stop it." And
Oh.
the movie was stopped at part 1 of 2.
No.
Unfortunately, we may never see a part 2 ever again.
No.
Pisses me off so much. It really does.
Yeah.
And again, it was an amazing movie for the time, and it still holds up to this day. Of course, I believe the studio behind it is French, so it was filmed in French first, but they actually went through the trouble of creating an English version, and it was amazing. Like, really amazing. Of course, they did release a blooper reel of some of the outtakes and fuck ups when they were doing the English dubbing. It was kind of silly. Again, it was a labor of love, and I really do feel for the guy. Still, like I said, all this information is still very new at the moment. We won't. And he's muted and deft. All right then.
No,
Again,
he is
we
back.
probably. Yeah, we probably won't see the Metal Gear movie until maybe a few years later, hopefully. And I say hopefully not because I'm worried about um, the movie never happening. I believe it's in safe hands and everything. I mean, hopefully in terms of like, they actually give the director time to do his movie properly.
What movie?
The Metal Gear movie. Yeah, that's the thing. It's happening.
As long as they give Rex his dick laser.
Has a chance to say anything at all.
First game? Is that in the first game?
Yes.
No,
Rex
that was
does have a dick laser.
It wasn't the very first game. It was 4, where you actually got to pilot him.
Oh no, the dick laser is in 1.
Oh, the dick laser has been a thing. It's just Metal Gear Solid 4 is where you got to see it. I wouldn't say pronounced, but you actually got to use it. Hey, it's better than Metal Gear Philanthropist, who had a dick flamethrower.
Yes, this was also a thing. Again, only in Metal Gear.
Well, I will give props where props is due with Philanthropist. Awesome concept.
Oh no, I hate that fucking thing.
Well, no, like, I mean, the metal-eating bacteria, it would use it to. It was its own nuclear device. It would compress the uranium and so on and so forth.
No, I meant to say it's like let me rephrase that. I find its engineering concepts very impressive. I like that. What I don't like is the fact that the Philanthropist is no different than a fucking Gundam. This does not belong in Metal Gear.
But in a way, it kind of does with how outlandish it is. Even if you were to put Philanthropist in like a Gundam type thing, it would be too out of place. Metal Gear, it's fine, just because Metal Gear is so fucking weird before Survive. We don't talk about Survive. Survive doesn't exist. Anything involving Hideo Kojima is going to be a cocaine-fueled fever. Okay?
No. Hear me out. Hold on. Every Metal Gear type we've seen has followed a consistent design, a slow artificial evolution from crawling to waddling to standing upright. Well, semi-upright. Philanthropist throws a wrench in all that and saying, let's make this cool fucking walking tank. This is not a Metal Gear. Plain and simple.
Well, no, in a way it is, because a lot of the Metal Gears were made for different things, and as such, since they were made to do different things, they were made in different ways.
None of them were designed to walk like a human being.
Well, let me finish.
That was me joking, though.
I know.
That was my joke attempt. All right.
But it's like how Rex was designed to be essentially a mobile, hypersonic nuclear launch device, stealth nuclear launch device, because you can't detect a railgun firing a nuke.
True.
There was the Ray, which was designed to hunt the Rex. There was the various previous ones, which were before Rex, were mobile ICBM launchers. And then you had the crazy motherfucker that could hook up to a satellite system and just rod from God anywhere. And it wasn't like the normal hard tungsten rods. No, these were nuclear-tipped motherfuckers. It didn't have the nukes on itself. It was a broadcaster of a signal to a satellite to nuke this fucking spot.
Yes.
Or to nuke the specific target. And each of the different ones had different... They were built differently. They were built to do different things. Salanthropus, mind you, this is... You can see the Rex in Salanthropus in the shape of the head. But, and, you know, the dick flamethrower, which evolved into a dick laser. But, jokes aside, Salanthropus's whole thing was using this metal-eating bacteria and using it in different ways. It could make a melee weapon out of it. It could use it to create those spikes that come out of the ground, all this jazz. But at its core, it was a mobile, man-portable, large-scale nuclear bomb. Because it would, for lack of a better term, use the metal-eating bacteria, which is still mind-boggling concept as is, to compress itself into basically, I think it was a fusion bomb or a fission bomb.
Yeah, fission bomb.
To compress itself so that its armor, it had uranium-based armor. It could use its armor to create a bomb wherever.
Yeah,
it's not like
again. I'm talking.
It's not like Rex, where it's I have a railgun that allows me to hit anywhere on the planet with a hypervelocity nuclear slug. Or Ray is, I can pop out literally on any fucking shoreline. Have fun dealing with me, motherfuckers. Or the asshole who's somewhere off in the middle of the desert transmitting a signal to nuke your ass all the way across the planet. This guy is built as weird as this sounds, a sneak attack thermonuclear mech. As stupid as a concept as that is.
But this is where my issues with the Saline comes in, not its functionality. Every Metal Gear up until Sahelanthropus has had a consistent concept to it. The early, the Shagohod, for example. This thing was the first Metal Gear, technically. And its design was very clearly, it's just a tank with legs. Then you had the nuclear launch platform version with the satellite. That had no body type whatsoever, and it was launched.
No, that one actually did have a body. Then, let me give me a second to look it up.
No. I mean, it's what I meant to say is that if you're looking in purely, again, I look at it more as an evolutionary point. I mean.
Okay, I see where you're going here.
Yes, each Metal Gear has been evolving subtly into a new species, even if it's artificial. Shagohod, you could mammalian Metal Gear to come up on land. The satellite could be viewed as the protoform, I suppose. The pupa creatures are
the satellite one wasn't a satellite itself. It was a Metal Gear that was actually on the ground and stuff. But it didn't have the nukes on itself. It was a mobile sensor. It was a mobile sensor / signal amplifier kind of thing, where it would send the signal to nuke a bitch from orbit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. Its body itself, while it could fight and move, it was very clearly limited by its own evolutionary standpoint. And this is what I'm getting at. The pupas were the various forms of Metal Gears that, evolutionary shot-offs, the return of the Shagohod type body, the flying one, the fortress one, etc., etc. But then you even had Metal Gear Zeke, which was a very early form of Rex. And hell, you could even argue a very early form of the original Metal Gears, of the original Metal Gear, the very pixelated one, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'm getting at. There's been a consistent design concept of these things are evolving and changing and perfecting over time. But Sahelanthropus throws a wrench in all this because of its alternate form. Yes, it is a Rex at its core, but the transformation ability to become human-like destroys this subtle evolutionary pattern that we're going on. Again, it's like saying...
Well, I would say... One second here, I gotta turn on my light. It's getting a little dark in my room. But I would say that... I think... What was Sahelanthropus? What does that mean? I know it means something else entirely different.
It means the first man to walk.
Yeah. Which... I look at it as, well, yes, it has this form that, in theory, doesn't make sense. But I look at it as, yes, it provided the data that led to Rex, so on and so forth, but it in it of itself was an evolutionary dead end. Where it had its own thing, it had a wonderful idea, so on and so forth, using the metal archaea to basically turn itself into a 90% purity uranium bomb.
That could kill Godzilla. Probably.
90% purity uranium?
Joking.
It wouldn't kill him. It hurt, but it wouldn't kill him. But I view it as... I mean, you can see the form of Rex in its head. You can see how it shaped future development of the line of Metal Gears. But at the same time, there's a reason why its uniqueness didn't carry on. There are obviously some things that didn't work out, some things that didn't carry on well. We don't see the metal archaea, this metal-eating bacteria, past this point because it was probably too, I wouldn't say volatile or too situational, just too different, too hard to produce, too hard to get a hold of. It was just in that middle ground of, yes, this is hideously powerful, but also,
woefully underdeveloped.
Yeah, that's the best way I can put it with Sahelanthropus is, if it had been given more time compared to what we saw, Sahelanthropus at that point was very much a prototype. It could have evolved into something much better, much more usable, much more... Because the concept of creating... Because it didn't have a nuclear weapon on itself. But instead, it used the metal-eating bacteria to become its nuclear device. Which, in theory, is a sound thing. Because it's depleted uranium. No one's going to be like, oh, you're fine. It's like, oh, it's depleted uranium. We're contain that shit so they don't make a bomb. It's depleted uranium. Yeah, it's dangerous if you shoot it at someone, but in armor form, it's not going to do anything. But
yeah, I get what you mean. I'm not arguing points here. I agree.
But you get where I'm saying with this. It's like, yes, its shape, how it works, is just like, what? But at the same time, it's a pretty monster, if that makes any sense. It's an evolutionary dead end.
No, I agree. And again, we can put this... Again, next week, we could probably do a debate for all of these things. Personally, I say we do it. But let's keep going. Let's move on. So, like I said, Metal Gear movies in the works. So far, we have no idea how it's going to look.
Who do they have doing Snake? / boss.
Well, here's the thing. I heard that some of the voice actors are going to reprise their roles for the movie. Colonel Campbell's voice actor is coming to do the film as the Colonel. And I think they're trying to get David Hayter to do this. But the thing is,
David Hayter.
But here's the thing. I don't know if he's a good match. Hear me out. He's the voice of Snake. But is he the body of Snake? That's the big thing.
Hi,
Can
Rev's
he act?
dad.
Yes, my father's.
Hi.
Well, I mean, technically, this would be really weird to do. That they could technically get someone who looks more like Snake and could do that, and then have David Hayter do the voiceover. It would be really fucking weird.
No, I think it. No, I think it would be a good idea. Like, it's better than nothing, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, that's as far as I've heard. It is apparently going to be an adaptation of the first not the first Metal Gear, but the Metal Gear Solid 1. That's what I was told. And they have teased a few things like the return of Gray Fox, Shadow Moses, hell, even Rex to some extent.
Okay, this is going back a bit. I figured out which was the one that technically had the railguns but used the satellite thing as its main thing. Mm-hmm. It was Metal Gear Gander.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, like pulled this off really well. This could finally fix the video game movie industry once and for all.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Yes, and it would finally tell that Russian fuck, you're a hack and you deserve everything you got. Again, no level of non-animosity do I have towards that guy.
Yeah, that guy's a dickhead, and let's leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. So we've covered that topic. Yep. Right, next. All right, so we covered that. Next topic. All right, so our last 3 topics of the evening are Ghost of the Tale, talking about Fallout 76, and Fallout Miami in the same breath.
Ooh, they're doing a Fallout based in Miami.
Hang on, I'll explain that in a bit. HH, do you want to go ahead and go with Ghost of a Tale?
LT. Still waiting for the codex entries in SSBU. I don't know what that is.
Super Smash Brothers.
LT again. Wait, I thought that Ready Player One fixed that issue. I don't know what they're talking about.
Ready Player One, the movie with the Iron Giant in it.
I know, like, it took me till like this morning to see a trailer for the HBO channel to understand why the Iron Giant was not acting like the Iron Giant. It's because it's a freaking teenager playing as the Iron Giant.
Exactly. Anyway.
All right.
Do you want to go ahead and handle Ghost of the Tale? Ghost of a Tale. Yeah.
Ghost of the Tale.
No comment. That just sounds like a really bad board name.
No, it doesn't, actually. It doesn't.
No, Ghost of a Tale.
No, you're just playing as the ghost of an actual tail, like of a mouse.
Or a lizard. It's more likely a lizard. No, we can move on to Ghost of a Tale, because I really haven't had anything to say for the past 2 topics.
All right, go for it. Go nuts.
So, gods, how many episodes has it been since we talked about Ghost of a Tale? We covered it when it first came out and then gave it some time. And I watched a playthrough, like a full playthrough. Paul Soares Jr. didn't get through it. He got a ways and then he stopped. Wanderbots got to a certain spot and then the game screwed him over. There's bugs, understandably. And demonetized. Yeah, thank you, LT. But one of Wanderbot's friends, I believe, is called Sebastian SB, or Keith, as they call him. He did a full playthrough, and I actually did that thing where you sit there and you watch the channel waiting for the next episode to come up the next day. So I watched it. I watched the entire playthrough. It's a lot better than we thought it was. Like, the game, I really want this game to have books made after this, like made in this world, or a sequel. It's a game that deserves a sequel because the first one built the world so well. You don't want to leave. Like, you don't want to see the credits because to you it's still going. It's a really well done game. There are bugs, understandably, and there are some nitpicky things, but it's a lot better than I thought. Like, holy crap. And somehow they made jumping spiders absolutely terrifying. There is a quest where you have to go down into like the catacombs with a giant army of rats to fight the spiders. Not a single rat survives except for one that you save. And they all died because of these jumping spiders the size of a car.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, actually, no, they're the same size as the character, but they're big.
I was about to say, jumping spiders are, I mean, yeah, they seem cute and adorable, but that's because they're small. Get them any size above that, oh my god, they're terrifying when you think about it. Because it's just like, they can leap how far?
They move very fast, they jump pretty far, they're fearless.
Yeah. Like, I've seen a jumping spider and a praying mantis go at it, and the jumping spider won.
I have actually seen a jumping spider defeat a brown recluse.
Yeah.
Because it jumped on its back.
Yeah, they are like the come at me, bro, of the spider world.
Honey badger?
Honey badger.
Honey badger don't give no fucks.
Well, no, they don't have that personality. But anyway, the game throws these characters at you. And it builds the world around you, but it doesn't do it in a way where it's annoying. It doesn't do it in a way where it's slow. Sorry, where it's too fast for you to understand. Like, they put the footnotes in so you always can refresh yourself. But as I said, you don't want to leave. It's like you're playing through a storybook of, like, a Redwall storybook. Like, you can see the influence there. And I don't want to give too much away. It's just, to put simple, there was a war that they don't even reveal to you until like much later in the game, was thousands of years ago. And you like start to piece together, okay, what I thought was these guys are defending this one point was actually something completely different. And the only downside is that there's like, and I am actually kind of repeating what the guy said about the game. There were two characters added to the game, like they feel like they were last minute additions, or that they weren't very well fleshed out. And the only time they were actually interesting is at the end when they're having sassy comments with these other characters. Oh god. And the fact that like the first NPC you actually interact with is a recurring thing. Over and over and over again. A crazy ass frog who thinks that his pirate captain is still alive when he's been dead for years.
Oh, it's one of those type deals.
That's kind of sad.
That is.
The guy is crazy. Gonna point that out there. He is absolutely crazy. Like, every time you go to him because he has something you need, he poops it out. Because he's doing the prisoner thing where they swallow their valuables.
Or they shove them up their ass.
No, he just swallows it because he's in stockades.
Oh Jesus!
But it gets, every time you talk to him, it gets progressively worse, but at the same time progressively funnier. There's so much in this game, like so much like lore and secrets and stories. It's hard to really wrap it all up in a short amount of time. Like, there's a character you didn't even realize was there with you like a decade or two ago. And then there's like another character that you don't even consider could be this other character that keeps being mentioned.
I see.
I hold this game in high regard still. I love this game. I'm not going to play it. Gods no, I'm not going to play it. It's a beautiful game. There's so much more to it than what they show in the trailer and what we said the last time. All I can say is, like, get the game, try it out. If it's not your speed, then that's fine. I was about to say something terrible.
Hold on a sec. I think you're cutting in and out a lot. Is she doing that for you too, Liam?
No.
Okay, so it's probably just me then. Keep going.
Yeah, it is just you, because you're cutting out a little bit too. Well, you're fine now, but we can still understand you. It's just, all I can do is praise it. Try the game out for yourself, or watch a Let's Play. The developers of this game, I believe, were really small, really small group. Like, they broke off from big name companies to make this one little thing, and they did a fantastic job. It is so hard to do that in the gaming industry these days, to make a game that, I think, if you sat down and did it and not did what a Critical did, which he beat the game within 4 minutes by breaking it.
By breaking the game.
I watched that video. I was so confused. But, like, if you play the game, like, you actually sit down, you go through it all, it should take you roughly 2 hours at best. But if, like, this is, like, if it's your second time playing it. If it's your first time playing it, it's going to take you, like, an hour, like 2.5 hours or so, just running around exploring and just drinking in the details. It's just layered and layered and layered, and I just can't help but praise it. It's good.
This sounds like a game I would like to try, because I'm a huge loreist. I love lore. This seems like a fun world to go to. All right, I guess that's our consensus and all. It is a game
you should definitely try. It's $25 on Steam. I'm actually getting the link for the description right now. It's $25 on Steam.
Buy it for your children and for yourself.
No. I could definitely say, like, this is a game more for, like, teens and adults. Like, yes, the characters are really cute. The drawings, the art style is really cute. But it definitely leans more towards those who have read the Redwall stories.
Yes.
So it's definitely a game Bill and I would enjoy.
Though I do need to say this. Those books were fucked up.
Yes. I even watched the cartoons when I was really little, and those were fucked up.
It's like...
Cough, Badger death, cough.
No, like, I watched 2 episodes. 1, a mouse and a whole bunch of little moles are being ambushed by a snake. And 2, some mice and a badger drowned a rat in boiling hot porridge.
You know what's actually, there was, I read one of these books. I read like maybe 3 of them. And in one of them, I still remember this so clearly. There was, basically the bad guys enlist the help of a poison maker, right? Mm-hmm. And he's very silent. He doesn't talk. And he just has a wooden dagger with him, which is obviously laced in poison. So he goes to a keep that they're sieging, and he intends to poison the food and water. But for some reason, days go by and everyone still seems fine, and they're wondering what the hell happened. So they think the poison will take effect at any moment. So they storm it. And then the king comes towards one of the ladders they use to climb the wall. And he throws something at them, basically at the group that's trying to climb, and it's the body of the poison assassin, his face contorted in sure terror, and the poison bag stuffed down his throat with a knife stabbed through it. And it was in such detail that I was like, oh wow, I'm not sleeping.
Mm-hmm. The episode with the snake freaked me out.
On the subject of games kind of like that, this is just me making an out of the blue recommendation. Sundered. If you like H.P. Lovecraft, you like survival games, and you like roguelites, Sundered. That's all I have to say.
This game is, I believe, strictly a roguelite, but there's obviously an item that you can get that cancels that out. It just depends how much patience you have to use this item. Like and in the Discord, I just linked the playlist for Ghost of a Tale from like Wanderbot's friend. I definitely recommend watching it whenever you have a chance.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. And now that the serious guy, he's back. But I was about to say, like, now that the serious guy has stepped away, I was going to mention this at the end of the final episode. He actually takes like a minute or two to can we just talk about this one thing? There is a song in Ghost of a Tale talking about a well-endowed rat.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Like that is the thing. This game is really serious, but you still have these funny jokes. Like there is a rat guard that is there. There is a rat guard that is in this game that is unconscious for the entire thing. You can get near him, but all he does is fart. It's that kind of humor, and like, there's another part. You take something and it makes your ears 3 times bigger than they actually are, so you look like Mickey Mouse. And obviously there is the song about a rat with a giant dick. And by the way, like the guy that plays the game is also a pretty good singer. And since you're playing the character who is a minstrel, he sings the songs.
Nice.
Again, all I can do is praise the game. Try it out. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess that covers that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving on to our last 2 of the night. All right. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into Fallout then.
Please don't. That'll make you irradiated as shit. Obviously, I speak English very well.
I don't know why I'm lagging out still, but here we go. So Fallout 76. Okay. So this is going to be Bethesda's second Fallout game, which is supposed to take place like a few years after the bombs dropped, so everything's still fresh and
toasty.
It's an only multiplayer game. So there's that. There are no NPCs and no story. So have fun with that one. Already, I'm not a fan. However,
it can have its moments.
But the creatures in this game is our focus this time.
Yay.
They're all apparently West Virginian folklore.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
So the creatures we have confirmed for the game are the Molemen, which look like just guys in like miners' outfits with like claws they built themselves, but they look like moles. The Mothman. I believe it's Greg's. No, the Grafton Monster.
Oh, the Grafton Monster? Really? They're doing the Grafton Monster?
Yeah, that's in the game. It's part of West Virginian folklore.
Oh, I know that, but they're doing the Grafton Monster. Oh.
They're also working on the Flatwoods Monster, which is a new alien to the game. So it won't be the same. And the Wendigo.
Oh no.
Ooh. That's gonna be a
Nope,
rough
that
one.
means I can't play the game. Nope. Mm-mm.
And immediately,
Well,
super hard.
there's some very screwy lore about Wendigos. We're not going to go into it for obvious reasons.
I'm going to say this right now. My bloodline is Native American. If there's Wendigos involved, no. I am not going anywhere near it. I am not looking at it. I'm not going to praise or say anything against it. No.
Well, obviously,
You're cutting. No, you're roboting.
So
you are roboting bad.
How about now? Am I still doing it?
You're fine.
Nope. I'm sorry.
I said obviously this thing isn't the real deal beast. Obviously, it's just a name. But from what I've seen of it, it seems like it's just another.
Nope.
All right.
Still no.
Fine. All right, fine.
Well, still nope for HH. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a mounted head on a wall, but that's all I'm saying there.
Well, let's get on with the creatures then. So, oh yes, and there's also a few non-West Virginian lore-based creatures that has a beehive on its back. Reason.
I know this one. What's it called?
I don't know.
Or do we not have a name yet?
No, there's no name for it yet. It's just it's just referred to as like the bee or something close to it.
This is gonna bug me. Oh god, I just realized the pun I made.
We're also getting a very a new creature, the Mega Sloth. Is
it just going to be like a jacked up Yaoguai, or is it going to be its own thing?
This is a bit weird. Hold on, what? Okay, why am I lagging so much right now? Why is this thing doing nothing?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
It really is.
You don't have a tomato
and the
warning
next
in
beast,
your
of course, is like the Megas.
I'm gonna sit over here.
You are in Florida still?
Yes.
Check your local weather. That might be why you're fritzing.
Oh no, the weather has nothing to do with the internet. It's just something on this end.
I thought I'd just double check, cover the bases,
I don't know why this thing is going so mental.
It's an actual LT
really
again.
Don't.
It's an actual sloth with the ability to deal radiation or status damage.
Yeah, it's.
So it's a really big fucking sloth that can pimp slap your ass.
Pretty much. I mean, they're big, they're slow. Well, they're big, they're slow, and they've got like mushrooms growing off of their body. So.
Okay, I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said multiplayer only. Would this be something you would have to get a group of people to fight?
The game heavily encourages you to have multiple people.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, there's certain critters you can find ways to do solo. In various games like this, there are certain ways you can solo certain critters. Monster Hunter World, you can do that with pretty much all the critters, so on and so forth. It's just certain games you can do this in certain ways.
The thing about the Mega Sloth is that it's a very slow beast, so it's safe to kind of like
kite it.
You can fight it on your own. That won't be the issue.
The issue is if it hits you, God help you, you're gonna get stacked with a million different statuses.
Exactly, that's the big thing. You could kill it from a distance. However, the other beasts that you would have to get friends for is the Scorch beasts. And those are basically a dragon, but in reality, it's not a dragon. It is actually a giant mutant bat.
It's a giant mutant bat that breathes fire.
There's fire. Apparently, these things are pure radiation.
Oh, wow. Okay, I am slightly terrified and intrigued at the same time.
The idea is that, from what I was told, there is talks about them putting in a story, like an overall story for the game.
Well, yeah,
And
it would help.
And one of them is you have the ability to build and nuke your friends. But unfortunately, since you don't have nuclear weapons at your disposal, you have to go for the next big thing, and that's build it yourself. Scorch beasts are one of the big elements to build these nukes.
Oh, I thought it was they were going to make it so you could find a missile silo or shit like that.
No,
that's what it was at first.
You could probably find the pieces to a nuke, but not enough. You would still need the core, which would be obviously
you need the Scorch Beast.
I'm gonna go ahead and start linking to these creatures so people can actually see what we're talking about.
I'm going to say this here and now. Someone is probably going to be one of those assholes who booby traps the fuck out of the material farming site for the nukes.
I don't doubt it.
As a way to say, no, this is all my shit now. Fuck you guys, and fuck you guys. Don't nuke my ass, please.
That sounds like Ark in a nutshell.
Ark, but with nukes, radiation, and bottle caps.
Lots and lots of bottle caps.
Never forget the bottle caps.
Hey, I was one of those guys who would always make the bottle cap mines and stuff them in people's pants from stealth. I'm sorry.
So,
it was that or the incendiary grenades. Yes, I was one of those guys.
Yeah, that's a Mega Sloth, and that is a Scorch Beast.
Oh, I gotta see this fucker.
It's like it broke out of the zoo.
Well, yeah, it's only been about 20 years after the bombs dropped, so not a lot of things have mutated that badly.
That really does look like it just broke out of a zoo. That looks like a Palamo. Or however the fuck you say it, from Monster Hunter World, only without the giant poof ball neck.
Yeah, it kind of does with the face. I mean,
I think it looks like those. It kind of looks like those weird bird things from Metro.
Also,
oh, you mean the abominations?
The flying things.
Demons.
Oh yeah, the demons. I was getting them confused with abominations. Sorry.
Yeah, you were thinking of Yeti by looking at the sloth.
Yeah, and here's the Mothman.
Oh no.
It's just a giant bug. It's not an actual person.
That's creepy.
So, when you say giant bug, do you mean like wither moths from Diablo 3 or just a bug?
You'll see it in a moment.
That is very creepy.
That is creepy as fuck. I want to shoot it in the face with an RPG.
I don't think it'll attack you.
And the Molemen, of course.
Do you know much about the Mothman?
I know
like the actual myth.
Some sort. Yeah, it's supposed to be some sort of psychic creature of some sort.
Well, no. See, the thing is, they're considered omens of bad fortune, bad luck, that kind of thing. Bad things happen whenever a Mothman shows up, type deal. If I remember correctly.
Well, maybe it could run off that kind of concept, like maybe something about its anatomy draws creatures to it, and that could be considered bad luck.
Looking at the Mole Men, they could just be mutated as fuck miners. That actually would explain why they have the breathing apparatus and stuff.
Yeah, I'm showing the Grafton monster. Give me a moment. I had to find a good image of it.
Huh.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the Grafton monster.
It's a weird critter.
I think this could be the early signs of a super mutant, but transformed poorly.
Nah. The muscle structure is too pronounced in the shoulders, in the front, and also if you look at the arms, there's bone plates forming.
Yeah, so it could be a new species of mutant we never saw before.
I wouldn't say new species of mutant. I'd say this is something entirely different.
Yeah, no, I meant new species of mutant as in not super mutant, just mutant in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is probably looking at the way the front of it is shaped, probably something amphibian related.
LT brings up LT brings up a good point. It's like it looks like something like a flood form. It's like, yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, it looks kind of like that. It looks kind of like a frog hit the gym really fucking hard.
Doesn't even have a head.
There are...
Yeah, that's why I
the
mean.
weird
It hit
thing.
the gym really fucking hard. Its torso is its face.
Yeah, there is also other points to bring up. There is also a giant frog enemy that is going to make the game. Sentient plants, apparently.
I will say this, those have been a thing in Fallout for a while.
Go ahead.
If you look at New Vegas, in I don't remember the name of the vault, but there's areas of it that are overrun with these plants and so on and so forth. And there was this, I don't remember if it was a fungus or a spore or something, but it would take over the body of the person that it had infected, and it would basically become a living sentient plant person.
Yeah.
While they would also form like actual living sentient plants as well.
Well, no, these plants are purely sentient in the term of an animal is sentient. They're just predatory plants that apparently they lure you in.
Okay.
Well,
I was about to say it's kind of the same principle as the other ones. You'd have to look them up when you look up Fallout New Vegas to get a better understanding of them.
No, this plant's gimmick is it's stationary. It can't move, but it's massive and it looks like bloated blood sacs. However, it apparently lures people to it with subtle brainwave manipulations. Like this thing's actually a smart predator, but not enough to actually move or influence people, just enough to get it close.
Oh, it's basically I wouldn't say fly trap, it's basically you pique their interest, they come over, then you snag them. That type deal.
Yeah, it's more like a pitcher plant, if anything.
Yeah, that makes more sense. You got a picture?
Of the creature? No, I'm trying to find it, but I can't. Unfortunately. It's being worked on. I'm sure you could probably find the concept. Actually, let me check.
I probably could find the concept art. I thought I'd just ask you since you got the thing going.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on, let me see. Right, and the last new enemy I want to bring up is a new species or a recently new species of ghoul, referred to as the Scorched.
Flaming Death Ghoul.
No, basically these are ghouls that were just hit with the nuclear bomb since this is 20 years later.
Oh, these are like fucking glowing ones on crack then.
No, their flesh is melting off at the seams.
It's still melting off?
Yes, these are people who are becoming ghouls, but not ghoul entirely.
They're in the middle ground before.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's rough.
And unfortunately,
wait, are we talking the sentient ghouls or the feral ghouls?
It's a mix of both, which is the sad thing.
Ooh.
It's difficult to explain fully. They are changing into ghouls, but some of them might have lost their minds because they're seeing their bodies transform.
Yeah, it's the stereotypical, the transformation induces madness.
Yeah, but they're basically going to be what takes the role of the Raiders moving forward. Okay, I can't find that, so...
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All I have to say, one thing I really actually have to say is this game could have some issues with griefers because Fallout has a history of involving nuclear application of force.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be that one guy who props himself on a hill with a double shot Merv Fat Man.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he will rule the world.
However,
at least until someone with a sniper rifle takes his head off.
Yes. However, now I'm going to bring up the second half of this little topic, Fallout Miami. Now, you asked me what that is, right?
That was me. No, I'm more interested in what they could do with the location and stuff like that because Miami is a freaking huge city.
Well, I'll tell you.
Second off, it's in Florida, so there's a whole slew of creatures you can work with. And thirdly, why'd you have to nuke Miami? They've got amazing bars in Miami.
Well, let me explain. So, first off, Fallout Miami is a fan mod. However, it has so much care and detail into it that it actually looks and feels like New Vegas.
It's the I think I know what you're talking about. There's some modders like who did what was it? It was a New Vegas mod where you basically go back to the Fallout 3 area, the Capital Wasteland and all that jazz.
Not
I
really.
doubt it's made by the same guys, but it's on the same scale type deal, right?
Kinda, but this is more. They've actually gone out of their way to add new shit. Actually gone in, created new things, new assets.
Well, they would have to.
No, but I'm not saying like in a cheap way. I'm saying like this feels like a huge production level Fallout game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
I know what you're saying.
Like this
kind of. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was about to say.
Like this isn't like.
There is so much background lag. I am so sorry.
Just go ahead. Just say it.
I was about to say like the Tale of Two Wastelands, which they they took New Vegas and combined it with Fallout 3, but in doing so, they made it in such a way that it essentially became its own game. But what you're saying is they basically made their own Fallout by combining assets, making their own assets, so on and so forth. Yes. But I'm just saying it's probably on the same scale as the Tale of Two Wastelands. Make sense?
Yes, that's basically yeah. I'm bringing up some images of it right now as we speak.
Yeah, that's cool. But I mean, and if I remember correctly, there were a few mods where you could make it so that it was New Vegas was multiplayer, and someone did a multiplayer playthrough of A Tale of Two Wastelands, which actually brings up an interesting concept of could you make a story-driven Fallout? I mean, the playthrough worked out fantastically, but could Bethesda make a story-driven Fallout multiplayer? Like have maybe two people, one person and another person, play the game together. Like it's these two people's journey of survival to get to a new place to live. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting concept.
Yeah, I'm bringing up everything from Miami right now.
That actually reminds me, I need to type that one out and send it to Bethesda. Like, why aren't you doing this,
that should be. Okay, so we should be seeing all this on screen soon.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Basically, oh no, I'm just giving a general thing. Don't worry. But yeah, they're using assets from Fallout 4, but they're adding and they're making it so intricate and amazing that it feels like a brand new Fallout game. Again, on the level of New Vegas. And it's crazy. It's shocking.
Well, I mean, let's face it, the modders for Fallout ever since 3 New Vegas and with 4 has workshop support. That's big because with the modding for New Vegas, you had to go in with the mods and stuff and manually alter the code and stuff like that to get these mods put in such a way that they would work. The fact that they have the support from the modding community and the workshop makes it so that they can basically make a full-scale game, which is phenomenal.
Well, here's what I know about Miami so far. Basically, the game world that you're going to is about the same size as Far Harbor, but larger, basically. So a little contained.
Far Harbor was
also.
I was about to say Far Harbor was pretty decently sized for a DLC area.
Yeah, but it's going to be the same level of size, but bigger. So there's that. A lot of new enemy. Well, some of the enemies they're going to add in are for, like the gator claws. They're going to make a return. So there's that. There are. Go ahead.
I was about to say, they probably are going to be using some of the stuff from Far Harbor as well.
No. I'm looking at the concept art, and they're going to attempt to create their own new beasts, and one of them is a hammerhead shark / crab monster.
Okay, that's intriguing.
I agree. I want to see that thing. They're also making one of the creatures is also a very like dangerous mutant swordfish, which apparently can launch itself out of the water.
Okay, that just sounds terrifying. You're just minding your business on your mountain and just shoom. Holy fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, this is no small quest mon. Like, this is going to be huge. I've even heard some of the voice acting, and it is top notch. Like, it sounds like a studio thing. It's crazy.
That's good. This is the kind of stuff I like to see from communities where they, I wouldn't say come together, but this is probably a case of the community coming together to make this kind of thing and get support, so on and so forth, and coming together and producing these things. It's kind of like with Skyrim, how someone made an entire new game and it got community support. This is almost exactly like that, and it's brilliant to see happen.
Exactly, and to be honest, what's more is that apparently the idea for the game is that you will be going there. Like they're trying to make this connected to 4, so on a technical scale, you're like going there. You know, like you're like they want players to come in after they finished everything in Fallout 4. So it's kind of like a final, a final journey to take before moving
Time
on.
for a vacation.
In Miami, which is infested with ghouls. Fuck.
Oh,
it's warmer than Washington.
That sucks that it's infested with ghouls. Miami has some amazing bars.
Well, here's the weird thing. Apparently, they're in Miami. Like there'll be different factions and groups of people that have eked out a survival, which I kind of like. But the big takeaway from this as well is that apparently the Enclave is going to be making a return.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, it's a very, very weak and small group of the Enclave. Not even worth stomping out, I suppose. Kind of like with Fallout New Vegas.
I was about to say, would it be similar to what happened with New Vegas or something else entirely different?
It seems like it is a very small but dangerous group of Enclave. So they're too big. They're too small to be a threat, but too big to ignore.
Yeah, I was about to say, like the what were they called in New Vegas? The Enclave.
I can't call them the Enclave.
No, it was the Enclave something or other.
Remnant.
Thank you, the Remnant, where it was a bunch of these old timers that you wouldn't expect, and then depending on your actions, they show up at the final battle, wreck shit, and then leave saying, "Don't fuck with us. We won't fuck with you. Let's go."
Well, this one seems to be more implying that this branch of the Enclave is still
still operational.
Left of the original. Exactly, but not like I said. It's small, aren't like as large a threat as the one in DC, but not
still a problem.
Exactly. I mean, I like it. I like where this is all going. Unfortunately, I am worried about the group because Bethesda has had a history of being complete pricks when it comes to fan creations.
Give or take. Sometimes they've been complete and total douchebags. Sometimes they've actually given full support. And other times it's just they leave it be. It really just depends on what we see.
This is gonna be a case of Bethesda's gonna attack them because people are actually uninterested with 76 and are actually jumping ships to Miami. Like their trailer has actually broken 2 million views.
Well, yeah, but at the
And
same
just-
time, it's. I wouldn't say. I think the fact that it's made by modders and the community at the same time, where yes, that could actually leave them open to being attacked, could also save them, for lack of a better term, because Bethesda knows that if they try to fuck with the community will bite back and bite back hard, kind of like what it did with the paid for mods and stuff like that, where it just got nuked.
Ironic. Again, like I said, they might
try something at first, but the community is just going to come crashing down on top of them.
Yeah, I don't. That is a very serious. This is a very murky water we've just treaded into. And
well, yeah.
Our best hope is that Our best hope is that it does go through unscathed, and if Bethesda likes it, maybe they'll make it canon. Maybe.
Well, not only that,
but if
they might even fully support it. At best, they might get full support from Bethesda. They might get people to say, "Hey, we'll help you out," that kind of thing. At worst, Bethesda comes down on them like a ton of bricks, which causes the community to come down on Bethesda like a metric shit ton of bricks.
Exactly. Like I said, it is a very serious. Like I said, it's murky waters. It's only recently been announced that it's it's entering its final development stages.
Well, you also have to remember that Fallout 76 is for, I wouldn't say the newer, quote-unquote, newer generation of console. It's still going to be the newer item.
Oh, whereas, no, this is... sorry.
Whereas, Fallout Miami is still related to Fallout 4. So it's still...
It's also they've flat out said they won't bring it to the consoles. It's purely PC, so there's that.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's old versus new, for lack of a better term. It's just the old has been spiced up like a motherfucker, prettied up, got new shoes, got a nice dress, and everything.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, I like that.
Sorry, I had to make the cougar joke.
All right.
Bird or sharks in terms of the community. Thank you, LT.
Exactly. Clever bastard. All right. So now we enter our final topic, since we're still on the bit of a Fallout trend. Atomic Heart. I have this.
I don't know Atomic Heart. This is one I don't
know.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I try to stay caught up on crap, but at the same time, I've got so much shit going on with my own life and with other stuff. I've got so much shit on backlog I have to keep up with. So some things slip by.
All right, well, here, let this image here summarize the entire game for both.
Is this on Steam? Or is it out yet, and is it on Steam?
No, it's exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to see this. Send it to me.
I got it.
And this isn't even the way.
You're cutting out again.
There's more. I said, and this isn't even the weirdest part of the game. There's more.
Sweet mother of God, what the fuck is that?
I think we might have found a friend for Mr. Flowers.
So I'm about to ask something. Are we going to start having a thing where, folks at home, if you're of age to drink, welcome to a drinking game where if someone curses, take a drink? No, I'm just kidding.
No, please don't do that.
We don't want to kill your viewership, literally.
Exactly. You will die. Don't do it.
Most of the people here is like, oh, it can't be that bad.
There we go.
All right, so let me put this in context here. Atomic Heart takes place in an alternate time where the Soviet Union didn't collapse, but instead found some sort of prosperity, some boom that kept it alive. Technology and things basically jumped ahead by 20 years. Things that were supposed to come out like now came out back then. So robots, holograms, technology of that nature, all just right in the Soviet Union's hands. They then begin to build robots that are specifically designed to help people in their day-to-day lives. That robot you see that I put, it's a consumer advert. It's supposed to dance and sing and make it so robots look more friendly.
Okay, I just have to cut you off here and there right now. Did the Soviets actually just become the nice guys? Or just taking that in here and I was like, what?
They're not.
Okay.
You're cutting out again.
No. Basically,
robot.
The sad thing is he's talking about robots and he's becoming a robot.
Okay. Basically, it's no, they're not nice. And the Soviet Union basically, in this reality, start taking people and using the technology to experiment on them, obviously.
LT's but it is comparing also, it to Wolfenstein.
No, it's not close to Wolfenstein, unfortunately. It's not like that. It's, how do I put it? It's more like BioShock meets Fallout. It's basically what it is. Same principle, same concepts.
That sounds trippy as balls.
You play as a KGB agent who is sent to the city that has gone dark for some reason. And the city seems to be in constant flux. Like, you see things that are just impossible, like streams of water that have leapt out of bathtubs, formed water pathways in midair, and have ended somewhere else. Machines have gone berserk, start killing people for no reason. You know, construction bots smashing people to bloody pulps, that kind of shit. And of course, you have weird zombie cyborgs, what the Soviets tried to use on people. Hell, even the Soviets are being killed by their own technology for some reason. It's not clear what's happened, but you have to figure out you have to get to the bottom of it and find out what went wrong. That's basically it. Yeah, that's me trying to sum this crazy nightmare fever dream as in little few words as possible.
I'm putting that robot in the background and just leaving it there. Mr. Flowers now has a friend.
Oh, okay.
A very creepy friend. Enjoy the show from now on.
I'm currently... yeah. So some of the robots are very disturbing, to say the least.
Well, let's face it, if that image you showed us is anything to go by.
Alright, well, I might as well show off the others then. I won't show the zombies because they're too disturbing to actually be looked at.
Oh, it can't be that bad. You can send me those pictures directly, Rev.
They look like clowns.
No. Oh, dear God, never mind.
No.
It's like I say it, it's like, no, you don't want to see them, trust me.
Oh, no.
Holy shit, Rogue Legacy got recently?
Let me become the canary in the coal mine for this.
Please don't put yourself through that. We don't want to lose you, Rev.
Please, I'm insane. There's little you can do to change that.
Pulls up. If you want, I can pull up the big, psychiatrist couch and just sit there in a chair and go,
I can only imagine what that thing does.
That is supposed to be a wheat harvesting bot. But sometimes they're apparently used in medical professions as well, since their tools are so good for cutting into people. So you can imagine it. it went a little crazy. The golden one at the bottom is actually a construction robot, a welder, if you will. Let's see what else I can find.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that lucky bitch. She actually made it.
Let's see. There are other ones, like a weird Big Daddy looking bubble-headed robot. With spindly arms for some reason. I don't
Robot.
You think if I did, I would be designing shit like this? Fuck no. I'd use Japanese designs.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
No.
No, I was just making a joke about how he's been roboting like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually... I believe this looks better. Here we go. There are gigantic, like, fat robots, but I can't find a good image of them, so... Actually, wait, let me scroll down. I think I saw... Oh, yeah, there they are.
Oh my god.
I remember when...
yeah, these are some crazy robot designs, aren't they? Yeah, those are the fat bots I was talking about.
Well, I can't share the
Did you say
previous one
fat
where it's,
bots or fat
blurred.
bots?
Yeah, okay. It's alright, I'll figure something else later. Yeah, it can commit arson. Its weapon is a flamethrower, LT. There are a few other ones, but I won't show those, mostly because I don't know what they do.
There it is.
I don't know what it does, so, you know, take that as you will. Yeah. So there you go. Those are those, I believe those fat ones are designed as like construction, like heavy construction units, like things to help you move. Yeah, like move girders and things like that. Or in this case, turn Soviets to putty. Like I said, personally, I want to see where this game goes. I actually had a chance to speak to the guys Munfish, and they mentioned that the combat of the game is going to be a mix of the following. So, melee combat, they're trying to make a first-person Bloodborne with it.
That's a lot to work with.
Yeah.
Or not a lot to work with, but that's a lot to
live up to.
Yeah, well, not only just with Bloodborne's style of combat, but with doing it in first person. That is going to be the big. That is going to be the big challenge.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Because you have to get the sheer visceral nature of Bloodborne's combat style.
Oh, they've got the visceral nature down, believe me.
Well, I know that, but you have to combine that with also the pacing, with all the moving around so when it's over. Because believe it or not, Bloodborne is actually, as far as a Soulsborne game goes, is a hideously fast-paced game. If you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, no, I do believe they have that down pat based on what I've seen.
An actual example in the difference between Bloodborne's pacing and any of the Souls games' pacing is actually in Dark Souls 3 in the Ashes of Ariandel, because Sister Frida, her data, like the coding and stuff like her for her, comes directly from Bloodborne with Sister Maria.
Yes.
Or Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower.
Yes.
So you're fighting a character who's moving at Bloodborne paces and so on and so forth, while you're moving at Dark Souls pacing, which is why the fight is so damn hard. If you screw up the pacing in this case, it'll be the exact same thing where the enemies are always a million steps ahead of you, and you have to become predictive as fuck.
Yes. The other thing is there is gun gameplay, and as they put it, they said, and I quote, first-person shooting will be closer to a survival horror, where ammunition is scarce and you must make every bullet count.
That makes sense, considering, giant killer death robots.
Yeah. Honestly, when this comes out, I can't wait to play it. I really can't.
Sorry, Yanni. Them saying that they're trying to go for a Bloodborne first-person feel has me both excited but also worried. You understand why?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm falling asleep here.
It's okay, because that is a very that you got a lot to live up to with that one.
Yeah, like I said, I don't doubt it. And honestly, like I said, I'm looking forward to this. If they can nail it down, which honestly, based on what I've seen, I have nothing but confidence that they can. We could be looking at the next big BioShock game, honestly. Or something close.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Alright, I think that covers everything for tonight, unless anyone has some closing things I want to say.
Well, I still want to tell you that story, but I'll tell you later.
Well, honestly, I'm trying to wrap this up a bit because, well, like I said, I have shit to do tomorrow, unfortunately.
Well, then do you want me to tell you the story now?
No, you could tell me tomorrow, honestly.
Well, tomorrow I have a lot of things I gotta be doing, so I want to get this out of my mind while I'm still there, while you're still here.
Right. Hold on a sec. HH, are you still there? HH? She must have gone up to walk. Alright, go ahead and say it.
This goes back to when I was talking about the gym striker and stuff like that. I don't remember the game, but it was, like I said, I always was the guy who would run around with the custom as fuck, quote unquote, mass produced unit. And people would be like, why aren't you upgrading? I mean, we got Gundams, we got all kinds of shit you could grab. It's like, no, I'm happy with my gym striker. See, the thing with the striker that I liked was, because you know how it looked like it had all that extra armor? Well, all that, the quote-unquote wearable armor wasn't just for show. It actually did give you extra protection, so on and so forth. A lot of people would underestimate it, that kind of thing. And also, it's the gym striker. It's built for close quarters combat and getting to close quarters combat. So while it might only have the 2 head Vulcans and a dinky 100mm, it's got beam sabers, it's got grenades, it's got a spike shield, and it's got a big-ass beam saber staff. And when I say big-ass beam saber staff, I don't mean like the Gundam's beam javelin. No, it's got 2 big-ass beam sabers on a staff.
I've seen them.
And we were doing a mission, and it's like, okay, we're wrapped up. Why is the mission not finishing up? Then a buddy next to me in a Gundam full armor, just his head is just blown the hell off. We're like, oh shit, everyone get to cover. Are you familiar with the Examol?
Yes, I know it.
Mr. 680mm cannon.
Yes.
No, that's just what I call him. Yeah, last guy on the other team was in an Examol, and he was perched way back. What ends up happening is it's like, okay, you guys head to extraction. I got this last bit. Like, you're nuts. You just blew off the head of a fucking Gundam full armor. It's like, no, I got this. Because thank you, extra armor and combat visor. But what ends up happening is me being in my striker, I got better boosters than most people would expect. I get in close. He still gets a cannon shot off, and it just rips off my left arm. So, goodbye spike shield. Still have my staff, though. Yay. And it gets to the point where it's a back and forth gunfight, melee fight throughout the entire thing. And fun fact, those dinky little arms on the Eximol are actually quite powerful because they're built for combat salvage and using ammunition, any ammunition they can find for their missile launcher and their cannon. So if it hits you with one of those, it's actually going to hurt. So it went back and forth for a bit, and then it got to the point where he managed to get enough space to fire his cannon again. I cranked my afterburners and swung the staff in such a way that I caught the cannon just as he was firing the shell, basically setting off a 680 shell point blank in his face.
How do you spell the other one, real quick?
Eximol?
Yes.
Xamel.
I see. Just making sure I found the right one. I see now the giant heavy assault unit.
Yep, Mr. 680 himself.
I'm back.
Welcome back. To be quite honest, though, in my opinion, the Eximol is a very interesting. It's a good long-range assault weapon. It's just.
It's actually quite terrifying to fight in close. I can tell you that much from personal experience.
Oh no, I've seen it in combat. I've seen its capabilities at the same time. It is, like I said, it's a good shelling weapon, and in close quarters it can be dangerous. It's just a matter of coming in prepared and knowing its weaknesses.
And it never hurts to have a proper suit to do it.
Yes. Though I still find it quite comical. The original was taken out by, what was it, just a gym? A regular one?
That motherfucker got the luckiest shot in of his life. That's the best way I can put it.
Well, he punched the fucking thing's camera too, so there's that to keep in mind.
Yeah, he sucker punched it. But it gets to the point, so I swing that staff just as he's firing the shell. And it gets it just as the shell is about mid-cannon. So the thing's going off in his face. I get blasted back. Staff survives somehow. And this is why I say, thank God for the combat visor, because I would have lost my cameras if it hadn't been for that thing.
Wait a minute, was this thing firing from the back, or did it detach its back and use it as a weapon platform?
No, see, the thing with the Eximol is it's a folding cannon.
Oh no, I know that, but there are some types that could detach its back and use it as a.
No, this was the built-in version.
I see. All right, go on.
And so, like I said, I got lucky. The shell went off in his face, took off one of his arms, blew off his missile launcher, and gouged out both of his Gatlings.
Impressive.
Like I said, I got lucky, but also you got to remember, I still was on the other side of that shell going off, and I had a damaged as fuck leg. Thank God for all the extra armor. I almost lost my cameras. I did lose my combat visor. I still got my beam saber staff, but that's it. The gun got blown up. The grenades went flying. I don't know where they are. So it's basically just... It turns into an all-out brawl.
Yes.
By the time...
This is why I keep saying the suit doesn't make the pilot. It's the pilot that makes the suit.
And what ends up happening is it's like, I'm radio silent for a good 5 minutes. That's how long this shit went on for. And it's like, okay, turn things on. It's like, okay, I think you guys are going to have to move evac up to me. It's like, why? Can't you get to us? Oh, no, you'll see when you get here. They find the Eximol pinned to the ground from the top with the beam saber staff stuck into it, with my remaining arm attached to the beam saber staff. I'm missing half my Jim's head, a leg, and most of my torso looks like it's been used as a speed bag for a heavyweight boxer.
Yes, I understand. Look, Liam, honestly, I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to be mean, but I have to go.
Yeah, we need to wrap this up right now. I actually have stuff to do right now myself.
Mm-hmm. But long story short, that is why I love my Gym Striker.
Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming on. Sorry it took a bit longer to end this than usual.
We didn't even have a break, but it's okay.
Yep. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we will probably see you next Thursday. So see you then.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Okay, I just hung up from the call. I want to point this out. I'm very tired of doing the show. I still enjoy doing the show. I am just very tired. I have nothing to say during a majority of the topics. And when I do have something to say, I am so flustered and thank you. I am so flustered and excited that I have a hard time grasping what I want to say. My brain does not work the same way as other people's. I enjoyed doing the show tonight. I am so sorry there wasn't a break or that I didn't talk as much. But after a while, I get tired of what we're doing, of what we're talking about, and I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue talking or being in the show. But I want to keep doing this. I'm not going to do the usual, you can get bits to support the channel over on Twitch, and, there's a link down below and all that, because it's not helping. It's not helping, not how I used to think it was. So just sharing the links, sharing the links, getting the show and the streams and all that out there helps us. Right now, donating to us doesn't help. I am working on that. I am just stressed every single day. So I'm going to play the intro music. It's also the break music that I play on repeat. I'm going to play the intro music. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm actually going to get rid of that robot. That's creepy. Hopefully things will be a little bit better next stream, just not right now. Thank you guys so much for joining us. See you next Thursday.